of the field, Friday night tension high. Sweat on the backs, pioneer pride. War drums beat inside, helmet cracks in the air. Concrete grit out and fight, enemies everywhere. Boswellsports, scream through screens, voices howl, spirits mean. Warriors clash unseen, legacy in the beams. Dust settles under feet, victory cries loud and sweet. Heroes in the heat, a battle so bittersweet. Bones crush, hearts ignite, bleeding for the fight. Under the stars, in the night, pioneers never die. Boswellsports, scream through screams, voices howl, spirits mean. Warriors clash unseen, legacy in the beams.
All right. Good evening and welcome to Boswell Sports for tonight's District 3 6A matchup between the Weatherford Kangaroos and your Boswell Pioneers. Hello, everyone. I'm Jim Howard. This is Pioneer Football. Joining me in the booth tonight is our play-by-play man, Peyton Peterson, the professor. Hello, Peyton.
Hello, Jim. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I'll be handling the color duties tonight, plus operating the camera. It's multitasking.
He does it all
around.
Does it all. See, you used to do all three of it, Jim. You used to do the board, the cam, play-by-play.
Yeah.
And you were doing it all.
Speaking of boards and all that kind of stuff, we got Keith Diamond at the helm. Hello, Keith.
Hello.
And, of course, down on the field is our lovely and talented photographer, Sandy Howard. She's going to take all those wonderful pictures from tonight's game and share those with you over the weekend. This is a good one. This matchup, these teams are pretty close. And we are at Kangaroo Stadium out here in Weatherford, Texas. And the weather for tonight's game, a little bit different than what we had last week. It's overcast skies, and the temperature is somewhere around
71 degrees.
71 degrees, yeah. Winds out of the east at 7 miles per hour. Looking at the flags here to our right, they don't look like they're moving too much, so shouldn't be any kind of a factor. We've got 20% chance of rain for this game, and it's been spotty off and on here in the Metroplex all during the day today, so we'll see what happens with that. I don't think there'll be any kind of deluge or anything, but
see, Jim, I was complaining last week in our pregame and talking about how every single game this year has been at least 85 degrees and hot and sunny and dry, and I was like, man, I want the cold weather. We haven't really felt that yet. And then we kind of get this ugly fall winter weather that you sometimes get here in Texas, where it's just like doom and gloom all day, and that's kind of what we've been experiencing all day today.
Well, this is a big one for the Boswell Pioneers. Still trying to get into the win column. Of course, Weatherford last week got a win over Mansfield Lake Ridge. There you see the
overtime game too.
Pioneers' schedule is we have 2 games left, and I'm calling this the battle for pride because the Boswell Pioneers is trying to get out of the season without that goose egg at the end of their standings. And you see the standings there for District 3 6A. Crowley Eagles for the moment on top, 5-0, followed by North Crowley Panthers. And, that's going to be an interesting game as we finish up the regular season next week when those two face off. You got the Mansfield Tigers there in the 3rd spot, and then Legacy currently holds that 4th spot. Here's some of the notes from 2024. Weatherford's ranked 611 in state. Boswell somewhere around 580, so pretty close matchup. Boswell or the Kangaroos are 7-2 all time versus Boswell. Last year game was one of those two. Boswell won a thriller 16-13. And
Interesting.
yeah, they first played in 1980. You got to go all the way back to 1980.
22 years before my time.
Yeah, that was the first time that these teams met. The Kangaroos, as we said, they're 1-7 overall, 1-3 in district. On offense, they're averaging 21 points, and defense 48. And their win, of course, was against Mansfield Lake Ridge last week. So a little bit of a confidence booster, I'm sure, for the Weatherford
very much so.
Boswell Pioneers still looking for their confidence booster, and we hope that happens tonight.
Yeah, Jim, it's a little weird because both of these teams are really used to being in playoff contention every year and battling for playoff spots. And actually, since about that 2020 season, these two teams have actually been in the same district, kind of battling it out with each other for playoff spots as well at certain points of the season. I know one of the years Weatherford had a really good shot of knocking Boswell out of the playoff contention. They beat them in one of the games, but the Pioneers ended up getting in due to a tiebreaker. So it's a very odd year when you look at these two schools, because like I said, I mean, they are so used to being in that playoff race, and last week they were both entering their games 0-7, which you're looking back as somebody that is from DFW, you're like, how is Weatherford and how is Boswell?
Yeah, how are they?
That's pretty interesting. And then last week Weatherford squeaks out a win late, and they could have been in the same spot 0-8 coming into this one against the Pioneers. So it's a little bit of a down year, but I expect that both of these two programs will end up coming back strong next year and for years to come. Both really good coaching staffs, and sometimes you have this with programs. You just you kind of dip off. Not everybody's Aledo, not everybody's South Lake Carroll.
You see that their schedule there, and that kind of tells a story. It's a lot like Boswell's story here, as they've had some games where they're really close. First game of the season against a good LD Bell team, they lost that one 23-21. Of course, we remember the Braswell game with Boswell. That one was a close one as well. Then they go into the next week, got blown out by Hazel. Then they come back and they got a close one against Arlington. So really, these teams have mirrored each other. Weatherford has had a lot of injuries. Of course, we know the Pioneers have had a lot of injuries. So we'll see what both teams have tonight as we head into this one. We're going to take a quick break to recognize some of our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll talk more about both teams. Stay with us here on Boswell Sports.
Barbecue, make you move like a cow. Tasting Texas pride, no stopping now. From sun up to sundown, this place feels right. Red's Barbecue, every single bite.
Meet Kim Miller. She's a property management specialist. She can help take out the hassle from the rent rates. Let her show you how to become an owner and not just a landlord. Help with rent collection, maintenance, and inspections. That's All County Property Management.
When you make money, we make money. Low vacancy rates, full web access, low monthly fee, no hidden or extra cost. Connect with us from a wide range of devices, your smartphone, tablet, and computer. So before you rent your next property, call us. Check us out on Facebook, Boswellsports, Twitter, Instagram. So what are you waiting for? Contact us today. All County Property Management, 817-567-2500.
All right, welcome back to Boswell Sports as we are about 18 minutes and 45 seconds away from kickoff here. It is senior night here at Kangaroo Stadium, so we're not sure how that will play into pregame, and Peyton and I are just desperate for for more stats and stuff to talk about. But let's talk about the Boswell Pioneers. They did get some guys back healthy last week against a very good North Crowley team, and the good thing is that they got out of that with without any injuries.
Yep.
There you see the numbers in the comparison between the two quarterbacks. Gray, actually the backup quarterback coming into the season, and you see how he stacks up against Lords. Lords with the 7 interceptions.
Yes.
So hopefully we can see him improve against those numbers tonight and get that quarterback rating up as well.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of been his Achilles heel this year is. And it's not really necessarily the interceptions; it's the time of the interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
There's been countless where they are deep,
driving, just drive.
Yeah, and it's not like they had one big play and they ended up down at the 15. No, this was a possessions where they 8-9 play drives where it's like they're chunking at this defense, taking up a lot of time and wearing out this defense, and they're not getting in the end zone because they're turning the ball over. And it's not just Lords. I mean, there's been a few like tip drill interceptions that have happened on this side of the field too, but just really some of the things that I've noticed from him. And, we say this again. I mean, he's a young kid. There's still 2 years of eligibility left, but he's telegraphs his passes a little bit, so just got to work on that a little bit. And I know there's been a lot of things. Here's the thing with him. Beginning of the year, we were like, okay, we need to. He probably needs to work a little bit on his mobility and trying to escape from the pocket, and he's already improved in that a little bit. So obviously, the kid's coachable. He can do a lot of things, and he's got a really good arm too, and he's got a lot of potential. So I think that he's definitely the quarterback for the future. There's no question about it. There's a lot of potential there, and this offseason after not a good season for this team, they are going to be dedicated to that weight room and dedicated to get faster and stronger. So I expect him to be back even better, and especially the running back, Chance Laster, dude.
Chance Laster, I wanted to talk a little bit about him. He was injured a couple of weeks ago, came back against a very good North Crowley team. Held to under 100 yards rushing in that game, but still he ran with power. He ran with explosiveness, but that defense was really good.
Really good, and I think kind of what has hurt Boswell this year a little bit is, they've always been a primary run team, but I think this year it's kind of turned into the fact that they are a little bit more run than they would like, even though it's, Coach Weaver used to be the running backs coach here, and he loves to run the football and all that. But
there's my granddaughter down there. Sorry, right down there with the lady in the black shirt.
That's awesome.
She got to run out.
That's awesome.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of been, I think, the issue this year is they haven't been able to really get going as well in the passing game. you double cover Kyrell Robertson, you can kind of take them out of the game in the passing game, and it's kind of made them run the football a little bit more than they'd like, and that's kind of what North Crowley did defensively against them. They were able to load the box, and he was not able to do much. There was a few carries that he had, though, that I was like, oh, man, I mean, pretty good runs against a pretty stout defense, but kind of what I saw from him last week in the second half is, Jim, he was still showing some fight and some dog in him. I mean, down 42-0 coming out of the half, and not a lot of guys, especially sophomores, have that mojo and have that attitude.
I was about to say, what really impressed me is when you're down 67-0. A lot of times, kids will have a tendency to kind of let up, go back into a shell, not have that fire and explosiveness. That wasn't the case with him. Fourth quarter, he's still, after a 5-yard gain, he's still jumping up and fist pumping and
jumping up, getting excited, maybe talking a little smack to the other team. I mean, it just shows you that. I mean, we talked about it last week at the end of the game, and it's good to piggyback off of it a little bit. Those are the guys that you want to build around, and those are the guys you want to build on for the future. And you can tell with last year right there, I mean, he's going to be a guy that they're going to rely on heavily. You've seen multiple times as well with Peyton Rhodes. He's been able to be that guy offensively for them in the slot. And so there's a lot of good pieces on this Pioneer team. And I've said it so many times, the record really does not reflect how good this team is. And I mean, we're talking, I mean, we just go through the list. Denton Braswell, Holtum game, Mansfield game. I mean, those are 3 games right there where if they just play all 4 quarters, that's 3 wins. And we may be talking a little bit differently tonight about their playoff hopes. So it's pretty unfortunate. But, I mean, again, this is you're not a program like Alito. Sometimes you're going to have these down years, but that's how you build on into when these sophomores become seniors. You know, the expectation then is going to be, okay, we're not just playing for a playoff spot, we're playing for a district championship. And I think with the way that everything should go in the next 2 years, we don't know what's going to happen when they're all seniors as far as district realignment and all that. But teams like North Crowley and teams like Crowley, they end up drifting off at some point, and they go into their own spells of, you know, below 500 seasons. So I think the Pioneers are primed and ready for a good run the next 2 years. But we talked about it last week, Jim, that 2020 season when they played against LD Bell, Sawyer Fur came in the game, freshman quarterback, won them that game, and it kind of sparked them for that 2021 season. It was funny. Me and you, after that game, I remember this. Sawyer, I think he played just the second half, leads them to a win, and we said right there in the post game show, that's the quarterback next year. That's your guy. And I mean, it was like that. So that's where a lot of the kids that are maybe sophomores are going to get a little bit more opportunities in these next 2 weeks, and they may be showing themselves a little bit to the coaches. Hey, I'm primed for a starting job next year to lead this team.
So the keys to tonight's game is, we talked to Coach Wes Weaver on Tuesday night during the Pioneer Sports Extra show, and the keys are going to be he wants to make sure that his guys secure the football, no turnovers. But I really think that it's going to be Kyrell. Yeah. How does Kyrell play tonight? Yep. Are they able to shut him down? Because we know what kind of back that Chance Lassiter is. Yep. We know what he brings to the table. But like we saw last week with Crowley, and Weatherford's seen the film, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to focus on him. They're going to focus on taking him away. Yep. I think if we can get Kyrell Robertson's going in the passing game and make him a threat, that opens up opportunities for Lassiter.
Yeah, and I agree. And I mean, we saw it as well in the Crowley game, Jim. They were sending out Kyrell in motion, running a lot of these jet sweep plays, and they go down as passes, but they're basically runs. And he's so good of an athlete to where if you have a couple of possessions and he's not getting the ball, you have to find another way to get him the ball. I mean, he is that talented in the open space with the ball in his hands, and I wouldn't be shocked tonight if he is running a few jet sweeps, getting the ball out in motion, and maybe a few screens and whatnot. And that's going to have to be the Pioneers' game tonight, I think, is, try and get those long drives going. Obviously, you always want the big play, but those 10 to 11, 12 play drives where you can really eat at the defense. And when you get into the red zone, protect the football. Protect the football. Don't turn it over. If you can get, you obviously want to get 6, but don't leave 3 points off the board. Always protect the football so you can get a field goal. So I think
it looks like maybe we've got
I think we got the alma mater for them going on.
I got a couple of guys down there in front of the Boz helmet that had their hands over their heart, so I'm not sure if they're going to do the national anthem. Or...
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Almost like that's a hymnal right there.
Yeah.
They're playing. So I wonder if that's kind of like their pregame prayer.
It's a little bit different. We're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the Kangaroos and what we see in their football team and some of their players. Stay with us. We'll be right back on Boswell Sports.
If you're a fan of classic songs over and over, you need to tune in to thezoo.net. Thousands of songs in the library. Radio like it used to be. Radio as it should be. It's on the internet 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, and it's free. The best classic rock of all time. It's thezoo.net.
The internet's best classic rock. The Zoo.
We're back.
Okay, coming out of the break, we do have the captains for the Boswell Pioneers on the sideline there. Tonight's captains for Boswell is Brant Williams, the wide receiver, and number 9, Christian Laster, number 2, Kyrell Robertson, and then sitting in for Aaron Riley, who was injured early on, is the number 1, Peyton Rhodes. So those are your captains for Boswell. I do not see the captains yet for the Kangaroos, but Peyton, a little bit from the coach's show on Tuesday night is he was telling us that we were talking about, I asked him the question, what kind of formations do they run?
Same old Weatherford.
Well, his response was is that it's a book about 2 inches thick.
Oh yeah.
On how many they run a lot of formations.
Yeah,
He was talking about how most only have like 12 pages, Weatherford has like 60.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, we've seen this is the same coaching staff that has still been here since we started playing them a few years ago, and we've seen kind of the different formations that they bring out and what they can do with their linemen as far as like the guards and tackles love to pull in the run game, and it makes it very difficult for the defense to stop the run. And that's where you sometimes see the big play in the run game is, they have big gaping holes that the backs can get through. So that's something that, Boswell's going to have to be on top of tonight. And even with that, I mean, based on history when playing this team is when you have those formations, every now and then that tight end sneaks out into the seam and he's wide open off the play action. So that's something that they're going to be looking at tonight, and that they've got a few years of film on them as far as the plays they run. But when you're both not having good seasons, you never know what coaches may bring out tonight as far as trick plays and all that. So.
Well, we do have captains for the Kangaroos, starting from left to right. Number 1, Moore. Number 3 is Parker. Number 4 is Dowling. And number 7 is Gray. That's their quarterback. And they will make their way out to the middle of the field for the coin toss. You were going to say something there, Keith?
I was just going to say, we're going to kind of recognize some of the people that are checking in. Jessica Healy, Stephanie Crowlin from across the pond, DJ's older brother, DeAndre, is checking in. So is Colin Dixon.
Those are some blasts from the past. Want to thank Stephanie for the chocolate when she sent. And guys, I got to get some of that for the two of you. It's Cadbury all the way from England, and wow. It was great to see her in the stands. And I'm sure it's probably about 11 o'clock there in London, England, and appreciate her tuning in. So we wait for the coin toss here. Pioneers, of course, dressed in their blue and white tonight with gold helmets, blue numbers, white jerseys. And the Kangaroos, blue helmets, blue jerseys, and black pants. There's the coin toss. So Boswell will defend the south goal and Weatherford the north end, and Weatherford chooses to receive the football. Boswell will go on defense first. If you're a Weatherford fan, that's definitely probably the correct call.
Yeah, 100%.
Pioneers will go back to the big inflatable helmet as we get ready for the running of the flag.
You see down here, Weatherford's got like a big flag down here. It says Rise Up Zoo Nation. I don't know if they run through it or not.
Zoo Nation.
Or Roo Nation, sorry. Jeez. A little tired tonight, guys.
I'm with you.
Here come the Pioneers.
It was a long week, Keith.
Yes, indeed it was.
And then you have a doom and gloom Friday, and it just wears you out a little bit. Ready for the weekend.
Hey, who we got running the flag there for Boswell?
Number 5, that is Josiah Daniels.
Yep.
Senior defensive back. Playing in his potentially second to last game of his career, and that's pretty cool. So they run under it.
Oh, no, that's cool.
That's pretty sick. So they run out of their tunnel, and they run under the little flag. Pretty sick. I don't think I've ever seen that.
No, that's the first.
Yeah. Oh, somebody almost got taken out.
Some of the taller kids having a little trouble getting under. All right, as we get ready for the national anthem. A little bit different. They've got us on the home side press box tonight, which is really nice. Last year we were across the way in the visitor stands, and just had a terrible time trying to get internet signal. And it's kind of cool being there with the fans, because whenever something exciting would happen, they would stomp and the whole thing would sway, and we could look down and see the ground underneath our feet. And so just a little bit different broadcast venue for us here as we're on the home side this evening.
I'll tell you what, Jim, my favorite venue that we've done still is Holtom's when we were out on that deck. That was probably one of my favorites.
Yeah. Crowley's pretty good too.
Yeah, Crowley. Yeah, you can't beat Crowley.
All right.
We put the crowd mic out there.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, with that final note, it means that it is time for some football as we get ready for kickoff.
Ready to go as this quarter is brought to you by Red's Barbecue. Hopefully we have a few Red's Barbecue Red Zone opportunities tonight here on Boswellsports. They are open this weekend, on Saturday over on Boat Club Road. You'll check them out, especially on a rainy day. Wouldn't mind some turkey legs,
time for your
chicken, pork.
Sponsored tonight by Clark Real Estate.
Always the best place to go.
Yeah, Red's Barbecue, 7335 Boat Club Road.
You got it down by heart now, Jim, huh?
Oh, yeah.
All right, both teams ready to take the field for this one. Pioneers kicking this one away. Weatherford will receive in what will be their final home game of the season. They come into this one 1-7 on the year. Boswell seeking their first win, 0-8 entering the campaign. As we said in the pregame, very rare for both of these schools to be sitting in November with records like this, especially out of playoff contention. All right, here we go. Isaiah Nash, sophomore, has been moved up to handle kicking on special teams. Has done pretty well since he's been moved up since JV. We are underway as it's the usual sky kick that will be returned at the 15-yard line. He's going to move it out towards the right side. Will be brought down about the 24-yard line, as that was Robert Taylor on the return.
A gain of almost 10 there for Taylor.
So Weatherford, like we said in the pregame, Jim, a lot of formations that the Pioneer defense is going to have to be looking out for in this one. They got a sniffer to the right. Pioneer showing blitz. They're going to keep it on a read option to the left. Good run there. Out to about the 33-yard line.
That gain of 9 on that carry.
We'll bring up second down and short.
Kangaroos attacking the left side of the Boswell defense that time.
Bradley Simmons is the quarterback. Sniffer to the right again. High snap. They'll hand it off up the middle. Pioneers are all there. I think he's going to get the first down, though.
Yeah, second effort picked up an extra couple of yards. He does pick up the first down and moves the chains.
So a good carry there from Xavier Craven, the senior.
3 on the play. Good for a Kangaroo.
Weatherford has a pretty big senior class, but also a big junior class. So they're going to be returning a lot of guys next year, as well as the Pioneers. Both teams will be looking to be vastly improved. Simmons will send a man in motion. They'll hand it off on the jet sweep towards the right side. He'll be knocked out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Good carry there for Jamie Gray.
Another pickup of 8.
By Christian Lassiter. There are
On the Roos, Christian Lassiter there for the stop for the Pioneers, and we're going to see a lot of that jet sweep tonight.
Yeah, I think
Flag on the play.
yes, I think there's a penalty here with that jet sweep. Likely going to be a hold against the Kangaroos, as we do have a little bit of a early footlocker convention with 10:46 to play here in the first. I think everybody's going to be coming in for this one. So we await the call here. Still a lot of discussion.
illegal motion.
So it was a legal motion.
Okay, so it's against the Kangaroos.
So they had 2 players moving there at the time of the snap. Not a legal thing to do, so it will bring them back a little bit.
30 going after the 5-yard mark off. Remains first down.
And it will bring up a 1st and 15 now for Weatherford. They'll stay in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And they'll change the play here at the line of scrimmage as they'll look over to the sidelines.
Pioneers in a 3-4 defense.
Simmons in the gun. He's going to keep it on the quarterback carry. Good run after the, I'm not going to say the tackle. He just caught up in a block.
Yeah,
Good run, though.
Picked up the first down. They're very close.
Yeah, they're going to mark them, I think, a yard short. So it's going to be a 2nd down and 1. So Weatherford having a lot of big chunk plays to start this game.
Yeah, have yet to see a pass.
As they'll check in Ethan Bird at the sniffer position towards the right. We've got 2 tight ends right there, so something to watch out for. We'll hand it off up the middle. Pioneers are all right there, but still a pretty good gain there.
Yeah, got enough 2 yards past the sticks for a first down.
So Weatherford putting together a pretty good drive so far. Knocking off a lot of clock. They're going to make another change. Here comes Rural Doss onto the field. So this is those personnel packages that Coach Weaver was talking about. They just changed up over and over again. Craven to his left. We'll hand it off to Craven on the quarterback draw.
Oh, yeah.
And just big hole is going to get the first down. That's something we talked about in the pregame. They love to fool these offensive linemen, and opens up the big holes. We saw it right there.
Yeah, the other thing that I'm really seeing is the Kangaroos are here early in this game. They're winning the battle in the trenches right now.
Yeah, winning the trenches and making personnel changes and formation changes after every single play, and it's confusing the Pioneer defense to start. They'll send a man in motion. High snap, they'll hand it off. Breaks a tackle out towards the right, though. A good run for Xavier Craven. He should have been stopped for a loss, but bounced it out towards the right side. And he gets a good gain there.
Yeah, again, kind of the same story that we've seen all season. The Pioneers get good penetration. They get in there. They should have got a stop back behind the line of scrimmage, but instead it turns into a big gain for the opponent.
So more personnel changes now. Simmons changing the play at the line. He's in the gun. Hands it off up the middle, and they're going to keep it on the ground here. So powers his way through inside the 30-yard line to we'll give him the 26.
They ran right at Isaiah Perez, the nose guard for Boswell.
Yeah, so they're going to go quick.
He got good penetration, just got turned.
They'll go quick here. They'll throw it out towards the right on the screen. It's incomplete, though. So a rare no huddle here on this drive from Rutherford. After every single play, they were making personnel changes. 2 or 3 guys were coming off the field after each play.
Pioneers kind of on their heels right now.
And they're going to do it again. Here comes a new package. They like to utilize Ethan Bird as the sniffer on some of these plays. Brennan Bowl out there now at tailback. They're going to group everybody up here. Sniffer out to the left. Let's send a man out in motion. Here's a handoff to Bowl. No, it's a fake handoff. They throw it out towards the left. He's wide open. He's going to be brought down inside the 5-yard line. And that's that play action pass, Jim, that we were talking about in the pregame.
Maui Peters there for the Pioneers to save the touchdown. But, man, that faked out even the cameraman.
Yeah, it faked me out a little bit. So they'll bring up a first down and goal from the 3-yard line. It's a direct quarterback snap. He'll carry it up the middle. He looks like he's in. No, they're going to mark him short. They'll give him the inches mark. I mean, he is right at it. That nose of the football is practically touching.
Yeah, Weatherford just playing some smash mouth football.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do it again here. Here's a handoff to Bowl. Powers his way. I think he's short again.
He's short again.
So the Pioneers, a good stop. I think he actually lost a couple inches too, so it's going to bring up a 3rd down and goal.
Got the heavy package coming in.
So here's those personnel changes, and like Keith said, it is the heavy package.
Brings up 3rd down and goal.
Number 70, Landon Olivas has checked in.
What are they going to do?
And
push.
And number 99, Caden Fleming, who plays on the D line. So this looks like a little Gata set. Direct snap to the quarterback. He's going to run it in towards the left. He's in, dives, touchdown. Rich Turbo on the keeper, and Weatherford strikes first as we have a timeout on the field. We will take one as well here on Boswell Sports.
Meet Kim Miller. She's a property management specialist. She can help take out the hassle from the rent rates. Let her show you how to become an owner and not just a landlord. Help with rent collection, maintenance, and inspections. That's All County Property Management.
Out of the break here, awaiting the PAT for Weatherford. Long drive there. We said with 5:49 to play here in the first quarter. Just tacked away the Pioneer defense. Good snap, good hold. It's good. Weatherford takes a early 7-0 lead against the Pioneers, and definitely, Jim, that's not something the Boswell defense was not wanting to do to start this one.
Well, we talked about Weatherford electing to receive the football. There you saw why, as they're able to really just pound their way 80 yards for the touchdown.
So this has been a struggle for Boswell so far this year. Is when they've trailed in games, they've struggled. It seems like that they've had the tendency to try and force things a little bit. Just kind of got to remind the guys here with a lot of time in this game. So Weatherford getting ready to kick this one away to the Pioneers for the first time tonight.
Thanks to Randy Crosby, Next by Nature, for donating $100 to the football chair. Sounds man,
Good crowd as well on both sides.
Kangaroos scoring 12 plays, went 76 yards, 6 minutes.
Gloomy night.
And back deep is Jonathan Martinez for Boswell.
So Jonathan Martinez getting an opportunity to return some kicks, and look at Weatherford and their special teams. A pretty interesting look for their kickoffs. They're going to do that old Pioneer Sky kick, which will be fair caught at the 29-yard line. That's where Boswell will take over.
Barboza, they're receiving through the Pioneers.
So, Jim, Pioneers down 7-0 to start. A lot of time left in this game, obviously. What do you think they're going to need to do here on this drive?
Well, they've got to keep their cool, keep methodical, let Chance Lasker do his thing, and try to keep this one close.
So Boswell's going to start out in a different package, something we haven't seen this year. They got three backs back there. Two to the left and right, one behind Lords. So they're going to hand it off the Lassiter towards the left side. Weatherford has not seen this year from Boswell as he carries it out to the 35-yard line. A good gain.
Coach Ab used to run that formation mainly in the playoffs.
Yep.
So you can see that the Pioneers have pulled that out of mothballs.
Yeah, so Boswell's digging into the playbook a little bit.
Oh, what was that penalty? Was that a penalty?
I don't think we have.
I don't think there was one.
Oh,
May have been a clock issue, I think, potentially.
gotcha.
Boswell will stay in this package. So they've got Barboza back behind them. They're going to hand it off to Trammell towards the right side. So Trammell getting some opportunities to carry the football here as he gets about a yard, and it'll bring up a third down and about 4.
Suzanne Hernandez says, good evening, Jim.
Who said that?
Suzanne Hernandez.
Oh, hello, Suzanne. She's listening. She's watching from the Eagle Mountain High School game.
Oh, very nice.
So Boswell will get out of that formation and return to their old 3 receivers to the left. Lassiter to the left as well. Third down, hands it off to Lassiter up the middle, and he's going to be short, I think. It's going to bring up a 4th down.
That was just a good tackle that time by Michael Moore. The Kangaroos wrapped up around his ankles, and that's what you have to do if you want to stop Chance Lassiter. Take away those feet because he's very dangerous with his legs.
So 4th down. Doesn't look like the punting unit's even coming on for Boswell. Pretty dangerous spot to be going for it, but when you're 0-8, why not go for it?
Hey, you got nothing else to lose.
Yeah. So 4th down and 2. They're going to hand it off to Lassiter, and it was a read option play, and it's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. It looks like Lords hung onto that ball a little too long on the handoff. So that is where Weatherford will take over with an early 7-0 lead.
So rough start for the Boswell Pioneers, and Weatherford able to go down to score on their first drive, and the Pioneers struggling to even pick up the first down.
Yeah, so pretty rare as well, Jim. That first drive, typically we see Boswell at least try to throw the ball a little bit. No pass attempts on that first possession, all runs. So Weatherford will start off here, fake handoff. It's the read option again by Briggs Kerbo, and the run game has just been dominating so far for Weatherford in this one.
Yeah, nothing real special here. They're just lining up, running right at the nose.
We continue to see these different formations that Weatherford brings on the field. If it confuses me up in the booth what they're doing, and you got to give credit to those kids being able to learn all of the different formations and packages. Don't really see a lot of high school teams do that. They'll send a man in motion out to the right. Gerbo back to pass, looking under pressure, steps up in the pocket. He's going to be brought down, though. It will go down as a sack. Good job right there from the Pioneer D, and it will bring up a 3rd down.
I'm not sure if that was Maui Peters, but good job in getting back there and getting the stop.
So 3rd down and 10. Weatherford is in a really good spot of the field here, Jim. I wouldn't be shocked if they run the ball, especially how good they've ran it so far in this one, to try and set up a 4th and short and go for it. 2:50 to play here in the first. Kerbo in the gun. They're going to spread out the receivers. They'll send a man in motion. And they'll hand it off to him on a little counter handoff. Pioneers are right there. Good tackle in the open field. That's Brant Williams. Able to bring him down.
Again, the Pioneers with good pressure just got kicked out. And ball carrier able to run it back, cut it back inside. Williams doing a good job closing the gap and coming up with the tackle.
So that's like when they love to pull their guys. And here we go, 4th down and 7. Weatherford's in a really good spot to where if they don't get it here, it's not really a loss. Kerbo rolling out towards the right, looking downfield, throws it on the run. Good ball as it's caught. That's a 24-yard line. That'll give him the 20. That'll give him the 23, though. It will be a 1st down. That one was caught by Jamie Gray. That just makes it tough sometimes when you're trying to stop the run.
Christian Laster back there for the Pioneers came up with a good pop. Just unfortunately, he's first down.
Yeah, good throw on the run there from Curbo. So Weatherford will slow back down a little bit. Sniffer out to the left. We'll send him in motion. Out towards the right now. Pioneers showing blitz, fake handoff. Curbo rolling out to the left side. Looks, throws this one to the corner of the end zone. A good route. That ball is caught for a touchdown.
That was a beautiful catch. Incredible cross.
Great catch, great ball. And Weatherford has taken a 2-touchdown lead here in the first quarter with 1:31 to play here at Kangaroo Stadium. And Jim, that's just...
I mean, it was good coverage that time by Jonathan Martinez, but that ball was just well thrown, and it was a good diving catch.
The PAT is good. And, I mean, Jim, that's just straight up picking the team apart right there. Weatherford offense was able to do everything they wanted on that drive. Boswell had them at a 4th and 7. For Curbo, back-to-back great passes on the run. That last one as well, off platform throw to the corner of the end zone. That's a tough ball.
One of the things that Coach Weaver talked about this week is third down.
Yep.
Third down conversions. And Pioneers are going to have to do something to convert third down and keep these drives alive so they can keep the football out of the Kangaroos' hands.
You can see, Jim, with the game plan that Weatherford have come out with to start on that first possession on defense. They're loading the box. They know the Pioneers have been struggling this year in the passing game, so they are basically forcing Boswell now to throw the ball and putting the game in the Lord's hands. This one will be fair caught at the 30-yard line. And Boswell will take over again.
Barboza given decent starting field position.
The Pioneers' first 2 plays on the last drive went pretty well. It set up a 3rd down and 4, and we're only able to get 2 yards on that 3rd and 4th down. Ended up going for it. So Weatherford was set up in really good field territory on their second drive. So the Pioneer offense back out. Lassiter in at tailback. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Lords, fake handoff, looks to the left, swings it out to the left to Wilson. Wilson, a good move after the catch, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, that's Peyton Rhodes with the catch.
Yeah, Peyton Rhodes right there. Good run after the catch, too. It's going to bring up a 2nd down.
Tyrell Robertson has not been targeted yet.
Yeah, that's going to be their game plan, Jim. Take Kyrell and Lassiter out of the game. They'll hand it off to Lassiter, and he's brought down for a loss of 2. So there's Weatherford just loading up the box, forcing Boswell to throw the football, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. I'll give him about 4.
Yeah, Lassiter lost his hat.
Yeah, so his helmet came off on that play, so
yeah, he'll have to sit out this point.
Yeah, so now Barboza's in. You got to think for Lords. I mean, only one pass attempt so far in this one. Gonna have to get him going at some point, especially Kyrell Robertson. Already down by 14.
Now Weatherford playing real aggressively.
Showing blitz. Lords throws it on the screen out to Trammell. Kyrell's going reverse his field out to the right. Very rare. He's going to cut up field, and he gets the 1st down. So he just went sideline to sideline right there on a screen out to the left. Also fortunate that there was no holding calls either, and it'll be a 1st down.
Well, that's that energy and that veteran experience that Kyrell brings to the table. Really, that play kind of blown up, but he made something happen there at the end.
So Boswell's going to go a little quick here. 3 receivers to the right, none to the left. Lords throws it on a little screen to Trammell. Good yard after catch. He's knocked out. He'll get a gain of we'll give him 2.
Good coverage again by Weatherford, and that was all Trammell that time.
So we'll bring up a 2nd down and 8. Or just look pretty good so far, I think, throwing the football. It's not thrown an incompletion yet. We'll hand it off to Lassiter on a little counter handoff, and he'll get a few yards there. He's going to push the pile, though.
Yeah, the lineman doing a good job of pushing the pile. That's number 64 for Boswell. Brandon Mason. 5'11", 310 pounds.
That's the end of the first quarter. That was fast.
Very quick. Very quick here. Weatherford leads the Pioneers 14-0. As this quarter is brought to you by All County Property Management.
Shout out to Aaron Hardesty, who is watching. The last time the Pioneers went 0-10, Aaron Hardesty was on that team. So we're not blaming him.
What do you mean, Jim? It's all his fault.
Oh, Aaron's a good guy. He's a construction manager there at EMS ISD. He's a Boswell graduate, of course. Just checking in to see how the old Pioneers are playing.
What year was that, Jim?
2004.
Let's give a great big thank you.
Obviously, the fours are not good luck. Not good luck for Boswell. We'll take a look at some scores in a bit. 3rd down and 5 now for the Pioneers. This is a big play here in this first half. Only a couple first down conversions. Here's a fake handoff. Juju back to pass. It's a screen to Lassiter. A lot of blockers out in front of him. Open space. Cuts it to the left side. Blockers out in front. They'll get the first down inside the 30-yard line.
And there's a flag.
And there is a flag down on the field, unfortunately. And that's sometimes like what can happen on those screens. A little worried it may be a legal man downfield.
Looks like
or maybe
a chop block.
We'll wait the call. This one actually may be going against Weatherford.
No,
this one will be going against Boswell.
They may have gotten Kyrell for illegal block downfield. Holding.
So it is a first down, but it is a hold against Boswell.
Yeah, he didn't say who it was against, but I think it was actually against Kangaroo.
So it will be 1st and 10 for the Pioneers. Not a lot of damage miss. We knock back 10 yards. They're going to come out in this little diamond package. Juju back to pass. He's going to throw this one deep down the field. And it is just out of the reach of Kyrell Roberts. Good coverage downfield for Weatherford.
Thought maybe there was a flag at the end of that, but it's just maybe a piece of equipment.
Yeah, Juju just threw a little too far out of reach, but probably worked out, though, because there was a man all over Kyrell Roberts, and that ball could have easily been picked off. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Pioneers are going to stay in this formation. Trammell to the left. They'll hand it off to Lassiter up the middle. Keep on the read option. Juju out towards the right side. He gets to the 30-yard line, and we've been waiting for it all season for the read option. We finally see it. Good carry there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and short. It's going to be a 3rd down and 1, so this will be 4-down territory the rest of the way. As number 72, Hudson Norwich, the freshman for the Pioneers, has checked in the game on the offensive line. So a rare freshman.
Yeah, 6'2", 290.
A rare freshman that plays O-line, so you usually don't see many of those. Here's a handoff to Lassiter. He tried to reverse field. He's not going to get the first down, though. It's going to be right at the line of scrimmage, so it will bring up a 4th down. As there is a timeout on the field, we will take one as well here on Boswellsports.
If you're a fan of classic rock and tired of hearing the same old songs over and over, you need to tune in to thezoo.net. Thousands of songs in the library, Radio like it used to be. Radio as it should be. It's on the internet 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, and it's free. The best classic rock of all time. It's thezoo.net.
The internet's best classic rock. The Zoo.
And we're back.
Back out of the break here on Boswellsports, where they trail Weatherford 14-0. There was 11:07 remaining here in the first half of play. It's going to be a 4th down and 2 for Boswell, putting together a pretty good drive, trying to get some points out of it, though.
Yeah, critical that they score here to try to keep this one close.
Weatherford has done a really good job of keeping Lassiter from getting out in the open space. 4th and 2. Juju back to pass. Looks, throws it to the left side. It's a little HBO play. It's caught.
Wow.
For a first down.
That was Kyrell Robertson all the way on that catch, because who was that? Number 41, Perez. Or was that Moses Barco? Barco was right there. Probably should have picked it off.
Good ball from Juju. He started out pretty well in this game, throwing the ball. 1st down and 10. Here's a keep. Oh, and he's brought down. Great tackle there, and it may be a face mask, though.
That was Keegan Jackson. Came in there to disrupt the play, and
yeah, it was
a little bit high.
It was a read option all the way, and he pulled it, but that was just a really good job there from their defender, able to make that last second move and make the tackle, but he may have gotten a little too much of face mask.
That does look like this is going to go against Weatherford.
There's been a few Foot Locker conventions so far in this one. Still waiting the call. They're still negotiating this one. Take a look at some scores around the area. Alito all over Azle in the first quarter, 28-0.
Yeah, Alito, after that thrilling game against Richland last week, not going to play around.
So I think they picked up the flag here. So after that conversation by the officials, they pick up the flag. It will be a 4-yard loss for the Pioneers instead of a 2nd down and 14. Trips to the right, 1 to the left. Juju's looking, fakes the bubble, throws this one across the middle. Oh no, it's caught by Trammell at the 5-yard line.
Nice
and
catch,
great read there from Juju. He started out well in this game.
Yeah,
finding
looked like
his
he was
guys.
going to throw it short.
Yes.
Ends up pumping, finding a wide open receiver downfield. And the Pioneers are in the Red Barbecue Red Zone.
Oh, I'm a little rusty on that one.
Inside the 5 here, 1st and goal. Hands it off to Lassiter towards the left side. He'll get out to about the 3-yard line. Still 2nd out. So Juju, what I've seen so far, probably the best start in the first half as far as making the reads and not forcing anything in there.
He's had a couple that
could have been got away off, but you know for sure that I think that little HBO route that they threw to Kyrell, that ball was going to him no matter what.
Yeah, good job by the Pioneer receivers so far in this game to make those tough catches.
So they hand it off to Lassiter up the middle, and I think he's going to be right at the line of scrimmage again, no gain. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and goal. You got to be thinking at some point you got to get out of this formation, try to spread the field a little bit here. Utilize that open space. This
is going to test your theory that
they're going to put Lassiter out on the end. Put him at wide receiver.
Yeah, so Lassiter out at outside receiver. Juju looking under pressure, throws across the middle. Oh, it's just out of reach.
So this is going to test that theory, Peyton, that you had in the pregame. Do they just go ahead and get the points?
I think they are. Yeah, I think they're going to kick the field goal, take the points. and make this an 11-point ball game here. That ball was just out of reach.
I can't tell if that was Kyrell that they were going after.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was Lassiter, actually. So Lassiter ran a slant on the outside, and Juju saw him.
I think I'd be watching for a fake, though.
Yeah, you could be. Kyrell Robertson, the holder, has been a guy this year that has kept it and ran it, but I don't think they are. Ball's down, kick is away, and it is good. Pioneers are on the board here in Weatherford as the Kangaroos still lead 14-3.
Yeah, good to come away on that drive with something after being shut out for 4 quarters last week. And in 8 quarters, they've only had 7 points.
Yeah. So we'll take a look at some scores around the area. We already mentioned the Lido game. Eagle Mountain, sister school now of the Pioneers. They trail Mineral Wells 13-0 after the first quarter of play. We'll take a look at some. North Crowley leads Mansfield 1,000-0 in the first quarter. Somebody's messing around.
Yeah.
Somebody's messing around on the Dave Campbell's app. I assume that one will be closer to 1,000 than 0 in that one. Mansfield Legacy and Lake Ridge tied at 7.
That could have implications for some of those guys still trying to get into the 4th spot.
Yep. South Lake Carroll leads Keller Central 14-0 after the first quarter of play. Byron Nelson 14-0 over LD Bell, and Trinity down 7-0 in Northwest. That's a little bit of an interesting score over there. And Euless and Eaton defeated Timber Creek last night 28-21.
Saginaw all over South Hills last night. I think 57-7 was the final score.
That's 0-8 or 8-0 for them.
8-0, yeah.
8-0.
No, 9-0.
Yeah, 9-0.
They got one more game. Chisholm Trail, big game next week, and it'll be there at Saginaw.
So like I said, Jim, I think there's a world Saginaw is going to finish 10-0 and they lose that first round game.
And they can win the district.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah. I think I'm not too sure who they're going to be playing against, but if they are in my pick'em in the playoffs.
And Chisholm with a chance to make the playoffs for the first time in school history.
Yeah, it's a pretty odd year, Jim. Pretty odd year. Pioneers getting ready to kick this one away. And they will, as it'll be returned at the 5-yard line. I'll bring this out.
Right into his own man.
Yeah, brings it out to the 25-yard line, and that is where Weatherford will take over here.
So 20-yard return for Weatherford, and a big series for the Boswell Pioneers coming up.
Yeah, Jimmy, you got to be thinking here on this defensive possession. You want a quick stop to try to get a 4 or 5 minutes of an offensive possession to work with and milk the clock out before the end of the half. Weatherford back to pass, swings it out to the left side, bring it past the line of scrimmage, gets a few yards out to the 30-yard line. That was Xavier Craven on the reception.
And Jace Edwards for the Pioneers there on the coverage.
And I actually mark him out at the 28-yard line, so bring up a 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, Weatherford going to spread it out here a little bit.
So Curbo in the gun. They'll hand it off to Craven towards the right side. Look at all those pooling offensive linemen. It's a few yards. It's going to be short of the first down sticks, but it's going to be
still
third
about
game.
One. That, you put yourself in a good situation when you're 2nd and 1, a 3rd and 1, especially when you've had so much success running the football.
And Weatherford's done a really good job, too, of being disciplined. No penalties so far on offense, just smart football so far.
Well, they had the one holding.
Yeah, they did have the hold. Other than that, they've been terrific. So 3rd down and 1. Hands it off to Craven up the middle. Big hole. It will be a first down as he was met by Lassiter. And they brought that one out to the 42.
Yeah, Ashton Davis, defensive lineman, 5'6", 145-pound junior. He's getting good pressure. He's just running past the ball carrier.
Yeah, these pooling offensive linemen that Weatherford has, just so difficult sometimes for those first and second level guys. We'll send a man out in motion. Hand it off to him. It's going to be a little trick play, though. Throws it on the run, and it's going to be caught. It's going to be a pass interference as well against the Pioneers. What a grab. As he had a fender all over him.
Yeah, Robert Taylor, the senior.
Great catch there. As it was a pass interference. They are going to decline it, though.
Weatherford with a little bit of trickery.
So they sent a man in motion. Oh, a little Philly special type play there.
For a minute, I thought it was going to be a reverse.
So it is pass interference against Isaac Bondonga, who had a career game last week, played pretty well for Boswell, especially in coverage, just right there on the trickery, got caught up downfield.
Isaac's a pretty good guy. If you watched on the
back to pass, Blix throws it on the seam. This one is caught. Oh no, he dropped it.
Had a couple of steps there against Bondonga. They went back against him again.
Yeah, so they're going right at Bondonga in this one after having a really good game last week against North Crowley. We'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Herbo's been throwing the ball really well in this one for Weatherford, especially down the field. 2nd and 10 now for the Kangaroos. 3 receivers to the right. We'll hand it off up the middle, and he is met by a group of Pioneers, but a good gain again out towards the 25-yard line.
Brennan Bale on the carrier.
That's Brennan Bale on the carrier for Weatherford. He'll come off the field. Craven will re-enter, and it will bring up a 3rd down and 2. 3rd and shorts have been the Achilles heel for the Pioneer defense so far this season.
Well, what's disturbing is that Weatherford has scored on all their possessions so far.
So man in motion again. Looked like he didn't even know the play. Hands it off up the middle to Craven. Craven, a great move in the 2nd level. He gets it inside the 15-yard line out to the 13. And it's another 1st down for Weatherford. And there is a timeout on the field. We will stay here, though.
Yeah, he'll get up. He's okay.
Hugging the official a little bit. I think there may have been a collision or something. I'm not sure what happened, but anywho, 6:39 to play here in the first half. Weatherford looking for their 2nd win of the year. Boswell looking for their 1st win of the year. Both teams having a down season. Herbo in the gun. Hands it off up the middle, and Pioneer, great stop there.
Okay, Uribe that time at the nose tackle, able to get through the line and actually wrap up and make the tackle for a stop.
Uribe is a guy that has been missing over the last few weeks. We're not too sure if it was injury or whatnot, but he is back, and he's a guy that has a lot of potential at that nose position. He has 2 more years of eligibility after this year, and he's a big kid.
Yeah, you see him there. He's got a nice size to him.
So we'll bring up a 2nd down and 8 for the Kangaroos. Kerbo in the gun with 2 receivers to his left. They'll send a man out in motion. They'll hand it off to him. Tries to put a good move on the Pioneers. Doing pretty well now on these little motion.
Yeah, great. Just around the right edge, and good coverage that time by the Pioneers. And come up and get the stop.
So we'll bring up a 3rd down and 5. Boswell has struggled in this one on 3rd down. Weatherford's going to make some personnel changes here. Craven remains in at tailback. Sniffer out to the left. They'll hand it. Oh, no, it keeps it on the quarterback keeper. I think there's going to be a hold, though. This one is going to be coming back.
This busted apparatus at the 9-yard line.
Yeah, so this one will be coming back. It was a hold at the beginning of the play. Bring up a 3rd down and 11 for Weatherford. Excuse me. 3rd and 16. As now, Boswell's in a prime position here, holding Weatherford to only a field goal if they can get a stop where it sets up a 4th and 7+. Anything under that, I'd be a little worried that they may go for it. They're going to bunch everybody up here. Kerbo in the gun, going out of the pistol. Back to pass, Kerbo. Scanning, throws it across the middle. It's caught. Pioneers are there, though, at the 11. So now it's decision time for Weatherford, and I think they're going to just take the points and trade field goals here late in the first half.
Yeah, looks like they will bring in field goal crew. Push the lead back to 14.
So kicker is out for Weatherford. It's Juan Perez, the senior kicker. High snap, good hold, and it's good. Weatherford moves back to a 14-point lead over Pioneers, 17-3, with 4:26 remaining here in the first half of play. And Jim, this is a great opportunity if you're Boswell to get a touchdown here before the end of the break, and you start off with the ball in the second half.
Yeah. Well, they got to get 7. They got to get 7.
100%.
They got to prove to themselves that they can play with this Kangaroo football team. It'd be nice to see them get within 7.
Yeah, and that's been, again, I mean, the last drive, they get inside the 5-yard line and are not able to get 6 points. And that's been kind of the theme of this team this year, is put together a great drive, get inside the red zone, and either turn the ball over or only able to settle for 3. And when you're playing in tight games like this against a team that's kind of at the similar platitude as you guys, you've got to get in the end zone. So Weatherford ready to kick this one off. We'll do the sky kick. It will be fair caught.
There's a flag on the
26-yard line. There is a flag, so it's going to be offsides against the Weatherford kicking unit.
Barboza getting a little bit of workout there on the special
A lot of fair
team.
catches for him. Boswell will get a few extra yards here after the penalty.
Offside on the kicking team. The 5-yard penalty is assessed at the succeeding spot. First down.
So Boswell will take over at the 32-yard line.
Boswell will begin first and
A lot of time left here in the first half. All 3 timeouts, 4:26. Excuse me, yes, 4:26.
Folks, stick with us. We will have the halftime show of the Band of Gold.
Lassiter in motion. Juju back to pass. It's a screen again towards the left side. Lassiter breaks a tackle, but he's still going to lose 2. He tried to break away from that pile, but just couldn't get around it. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 12.
Lester looks a little bit like he's still tender from that,
I agree.
Injury that he had here a few weeks back.
It seems like his explosiveness is just a little not there yet.
Got Kyrell there in the slot.
Juju rolling out towards the right, looking downfield, scanning. Tries to move up in the pocket, but he's brought down hard. It's going to be another loss of 2. And it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Tate Burleson in there for the Kangaroos.
And there's going to be a timeout by the Pioneers, and we will take one as well here on Boswell Sports.
All right, we're back.
So we're back out of the timeout here with 3:42 to play here in the first half, and it's going to be a 3rd down and 14 for the Pioneers. Not the position you want to be in, down by 14. And a lot of time left as we're seeing the T-shirt cannon just shot it out of the stadium. Juju, back to pass, looking, throws it across the middle. Looked like he may have gotten there a little bit early. There's no flag, though.
Peyton Rhodes, and then they're defended by Liam Riley, the linebacker.
And there is a timeout on the field. We will take one as well here on Boswell Sports.
Meet Kim Miller. She's a property management specialist. She can help take out the hassle.
Back out of the break here at Kangaroo Stadium, and Boswell set to punt this one away here with a lot of time left here in the first half, 3:37, and now they just got to be hoping to get to halftime only down by 14. Maybe get a quick stop with the 2 timeouts that they have. High punt, as this one will be caught by one of the bench players over there on the sideline. Got a good crowd reaction there, and Weatherford will take over, and they'll give them the 47-yard line. So again, good field position for the Kangaroos, and more than enough time to get into the end zone before the end of the break. So the Boswell defense, tall task in this one. They've been on the field most of this first half of play.
You know, one of the things that we've seen this year different with the Boswell defense is, you know, last year at this time they were plus 11 in turnovers. This defense is not causing a lot of turnovers, and they desperately need one here.
Yeah, not a lot of turnovers and a lot of big chunk plays that they've allowed. Gerbo in the gun. He's going to throw a little snap screen out to the left. Got blockers out in front of him. He's knocked out of bounds at the Pioneer 47-yard line. That was Sebastian Chazaretta, I believe. Just Weatherford's going to go quick. Gerbo's going to throw it out to the right as this one is dropped.
Wow, he was all alone.
Yeah,
found
wide
that
open.
Little space there in the zone. That was Jamie Gray. Gray, who's played some quarterback here for the Kangaroos, just can't haul in this pass.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to need to tonight. He's been great at receiver, and Gerbo's been throwing the ball well. I don't think they'll need to rotate. So here we go, 3rd down and 5. So Pioneers a great opportunity here to get a stop and force a punt and get the ball back with a lot of time left. Gerbo keeps it on the carry, bounces it to the left, cuts through. He's going to get, oh, he's close.
I think they're going to move.
Yeah, they're going to get it. So it looked like he was going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage, but that second effort gets him through the pile, and he gets the first down. So definitely not what the Pioneers needed there.
I think they needed the index card to measure that.
Gene Steratore. Get Gene Steratore out here. Get the index card to measure. So we'll bring up a 1st down and 10. Weatherford will go to the sniffer to the right, and this is going to be a false start.
Yep.
So this will knock him back 5. You can see here Weatherford's just playing full-on clock management here the rest of this first half, trying to get 7 on the board and not give Boswell any clock. Try to go in the half with a 21-point lead.
Yeah, I look for them here to run the football on this play, and then I look for them to try to go deep on the next.
I do think it is coming. Gerbo.
See how much Romo I've got in
So
here.
Gerbo's going to go under center. He's going to keep it on the little quarterback sneak. Gets a few yards, though, here.
Yeah, got back to the original line of scrimmage at the 43-yard line.
So to bring up a 2nd and 10.
Look for him to take a shot here.
I'm thinking so too. The way that Carbo's been playing so far tonight, he's been terrific. Throwing on the run, in the pocket. Has made a lot of great decisions as they're going to have some personnel changes here. Jackson Rouse in at tight end now for Weatherford. And I think you're right, Jim. I think a passing play is coming here.
Pioneer's not playing deep.
So it trips out to the left. Weatherford in the gun. Carbo throws it across the middle on the fake handoff, and it's caught inside the 40-yard line to the 32.
That's right. Ruled off.
So
and what did they say his name was?
Maker.
Maker. His middle name is Maker.
So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5. A lot of clocks actually ran off here. We're down to 1:31 remaining here in the first half of play. Weatherford does have all 3 of their timeouts. 3rd down and 5. It's going to be 4-down territory, I think, the rest of the way. High snap. Hands it off the middle. Breaks a tackle. Craven gets out to... He's close to the line of scrimmage. Or he's close to the first down, but he's short. So it's going to bring up a 4th down. But they're going to go for it, I think. They will go for it, and they're going to bring out the big boy, Caden Fleming. It's going to be the big boy set and try to get that 1st down. As the clock continues to run, we're at 57 seconds remaining. And a timeout is on the field, and it will be taken, it looks like, by Weatherford.
Boswell.
So Boswell takes a timeout.
Takes a timeout.
Interesting. So definitely getting prepared to,
and we're so excited to be
for that 4th and short, but free timeout given to them.
Stay seated at halftime to watch our performance.
We'll take a closer look at
hard work to
some scores around the area here on this timeout. Stay here.
We'll be representing Weatherford nationally. We couldn't have reached this milestone without the incredible support of our community.
Man, Alito all over Azle in the first half of play, 49-0.
Wow.
They're still in the 2nd quarter.
Wow.
2:09 left. Yeah, Alito is just putting it on them. Eagle Mountain Trails, Mineral Wells, 20-7. Denton Ryan, how about this score? Only up by 7 against Brewer at halftime. So pretty interesting for Denton Ryan, only to be up by 7. So here we go, Brewer. 4th down, and they're going to get it. Well past the sticks.
Yeah, and
1st down.
In there for the Pioneers, number 40. That's Anthony Villarreal.
So this will now if you're the Boswell defense, Jim, you're just trying to get into the halftime, only down by 14.
Yeah, 47 seconds. They can hold on here. Gives them a little bit of a hope.
Yeah. If you allow a touchdown, though, you're looking at a steep uphill battle in the second half, especially with how great Weatherford has been able to run the football. I'm not too sure with how well that they've been able to milk some clock here in the first half that a 21-point deficit can be something you can come back from.
It'll be pretty tough.
It'll be very tough here. 1st and 10. Pioneers want a turnover so bad here on this play. They're going to send a man in motion. Turbo back to pass. Looks, it's going to be a screen across the middle. It's caught. That's Craven. Puts a move on. Yard after catch. Craven inside the 5. He's down at the 3. Give him the 2, actually, and it will be a 1st and goal. And all of a sudden, Weatherford, their tall task of getting into the end zone, not anymore. The clock will continue to wind.
Puts them in great position. Still with 30 seconds.
30-second remain. And
2 timeouts.
Turbo in the gun, direct snap, and he's going to roll out of it. He's going to lose a few yards, though. So he's stopped at the 6-yard line, and all of a sudden, 19 seconds remains. Timeout, Weatherford. 2nd and goal.
Timeout, Weatherford. Their 2nd time.
Was that Kyrell? Was that Kyrell that got in there to make the tackle?
Nation,
I'm not too sure. It may have been. He has played a little defensive back recently. And now, if you're Boswell, man, you're thinking, you're probably thinking, man, they wish that they didn't call that timeout, because now Weatherford still has one timeout here with 19 seconds left.
If you're enjoying the game, and we invite
If you don't get anything going here, if you're Weatherford, you still call another timeout and have an opportunity to go into the end zone one more time before you need to take a field goal.
Thanks for coming out to the game, and
So all in their favor here. They did just lose about 4 yards. Pioneer defense is just looking for something here, Jim. Something to take into the half.
Need a scoop and score.
Pick six, 105-yard pick six. Kerbo in the gun. They'll send Craven out in motion towards the left. Kerbo looks, throws it across the middle. It's incomplete.
Just a little bit behind him. There a flag right there at the 2-yard line?
Yes.
There is a flag down. Wondering if this may be against the Pioneers. We'll see the call. And it's going to be a legal man downfield, though. So
against Weatherford.
Weatherford will have to be brought back a little bit now.
Opens up the field a little bit.
13 seconds remain. You're in the first half of play.
To go back to the 12-yard line.
And it'll bring up a second down and 12. So 13 seconds left. Kerbo in the gun, looking back to pass, makes a move, and Pioneers are all right there. Great stop, as he's going to lose about a yard. So now with 7 seconds left, Weatherford has to take their timeout, and they're going to kick a field goal.
Third final timeout in the first half.
So going into the break, down by 17 is a lot better than going down by 21, as Weatherford has a chance to extend their lead to 17. And again, you think right back to that timeout that Boswell took on right before that 4th and 1. If they don't, we're probably looking at a 17-3 going into the break. Pretty unfortunate. As Weatherford brings the field goal unit on. Definitely not a gimme for the college realm, or for the high school realm, excuse me. This is Juan Perez.
So 32-yard attempt here.
32-yarder. This one is up. It's short. Did he get it?
Did not.
Did not get it. So the Pioneers will escape the first half of play with, well, we still got 2 seconds left, but they'll escape the first half of play where they'll likely take a knee here, only down by 14. So all of a sudden, you got a little bit of life heading into the break. The defense kind of stepped up right there. And how about it?
Yeah, looks like still got ourselves a ball game.
Yeah, this game is definitely not over yet. Boswell is definitely, I think, going to need a score, though, to open up the second half of play. And Jim, I mean, the way Juju has played, I know there's been some risky passes. I mean, you got to think going into the second half, maybe open up the game a little bit more for him and maybe get him out in space a little bit. As Pioneers will take a knee, that'll do it for the first half of play here in Weatherford, where the Kangaroos lead your Boswell Pioneers 17-3. I'll hand it back over to Jim.
Yeah, stick with us. We'll have both bands and drill teams, their performances out here on the field. We're going to step away from the mic, but enjoy the Lone Star Insurers halftime show.
Raising money for the Public and Charity Foundation. And tonight, a lucky recipient has a chance to kick a field goal to win Cowboys tickets to an upcoming game. The winner that was drawn yesterday from those who donated was Dr. Bill Tomini. Dr. T will now attempt to make the kick to win the tickets. Dr. T's kick is good. Great job, ladies, for making an impact with the donations you've received for the Charity Foundation. The Foundation's goal is to save lives, help patients through their journey, and give families hope. And we thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Moore, for their donation of the Cowboy tickets. Great kick, Dr. T.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your upcoming entertainment, we want the sparkle and shine of Boswell High School. High picking, hot stepping, and always dazzling Pure Gold Dance Team. Pure Gold is a precision dance team that has been named state and national champions numerous times in the past year. Special offers for Cora Welver, Sally O'Hara, Savannah Wilberforce, Zoe Parker, and Erica Shaw. Officers for the 2024 season are Sophomore Lieutenant Kaylin Wen, Junior Lieutenant Jamina Gay-Wu, Junior Lieutenant Maddie Brent, and your Major, Katie Gates. Your goal is under the direction of Amy Hurst and Assistant Director Lorraine Gaitan. Being performed is the team played by the Band of Gold. Award winners for tonight are Rookie of the Week, Amore Grant, Veteran of the Week, Guyana Diaz, Spirit Member of the Week, J.C. Sullins. Hope you enjoyed tonight's performance by the Pure Gold Dance Team. Let's give it up for Pure Gold. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the field, the Boswell High School Band of Gold. The Band of Gold is under the direction of Boswell Server, Stuart Spring, Dylan Steele, Tyler Elvison, Marvin Alexander, and Eric Brownhill. The performance success of the Band of Gold is driven by its middle school feeders and their directors, Dr. Ben Shaker and Taylor Ely from Wayside Middle School, and Scott McLean and Carissa Hamilton from Creekview Middle School. The Band of Gold students of the week are Caden Garcia, Jonathan Tucker, Valerie Salazar, and Zach Kuhn. Section of the week is the trumpets.
The Boswell Band Golden Apple recognizing a Boswell staff member each week goes to Mrs. Jamie Morgan. Tonight, the Band of Gold will be performing their 2024 contest show in Byron. Drum majors are Ethan Reeves, Terry Boss, William Everett, and Timmy Plazarini. Drum majors, is the band ready? You may now take the field for your performance of Environment. Let's give it up one more time for the Boswell High School Band of Gold. The Band of Gold would like to thank our bands for the transportation focus season. Racing Heroes, Dicky Barbecue, and Greg Tech. Best of luck to the Weatherford Band and their season ahead.
Now entering the field, welcome the national anthem of Weatherford Bluebell. For the past 43 years, the Bells have entertained local, state, and national audiences for performances at restaurants, and lunch and community events. As they continue their legacy of excellence, the Bells eye of tradition. The Bells are under the field direction of Captain Morgan Tarvey, Lieutenant Colby Humphrey, Riley People, Lucy Gallegos, Chelsea Martinez, Aubrey Smith, Kayla Hyman, and Sophia Soline. Social Officer President Brianna Arevalo. Social Officers Lucy Bosley, Marley Roberts, Katie Silk, Hayden Strickland, Bailey Swilling, and Sarah Zachary Salinas. Belle of the Week is Ellie J. Saltzgiver. Spirit Girl of the Week is Anaya Jones. Sidekick of the Week is Colby Humphrey. High School Teacher of the Week is Miss Whitcamp, and MDC Teacher of the Week is Mr. Wellborn. Feature Squad of the Week goes to the managers. The Bells are performing a pop routine to Pretty Fly. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 44th line. The Bells are joined this evening by the Junior Bells of Holland-Typhon Middle School. Officers are Captain Amy Kim, Adeline Goodwin, Avery Lang, and Tinley Mullins. Officers are Captain Berkeley O'Neill, Kenna Dalrymple, and Riley Early. The teams are performing a common team, Wholehearted Snake. Let's hear it for the dance teams of Weatherford ISD. The Bells would like to thank our captain level and honorable creation. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight for your halftime entertainment, we are proud to present the Weatherford High School Marching Band as they present their 2024 marching show, Requiem Among the Stars. Our outstanding freshman band members of the week are Margaret Casera from the clarinet section and Sam Cueto from the tuba section, and Braxton Alexander from the percussion section. The guard member of the week is Shaylee Fry, and the section of the week is the seniors. Now sit back and enjoy the award-winning Apex of Sound, the quintessence of marchers, the Mighty Mob of Music, music and the pride of Weatherford. The Fightin' Blue Marching Band and Rep Band among the stars.
All right, watching the performance by the Kangaroo Band as we head into the second half here, and the Boswell Pioneers trail 17-3, have yet to get into the end zone. And Peyton, that first half, it looked like there for a minute that Weatherford might actually blow the Pioneers out, but they've hung around. They got 3 on a field goal from Perez, and they've had some good movement, just not able to put it into the end zone.
Yeah, it looked like after that last offensive drive that Boswell had, that Weatherford was going to get in the end zone. They had about, 3.5 minutes of clock left with 3 timeouts at about the 40-yard line. And, they tried to game manage a little bit and milk some clock, but it kind of didn't work out in their favor. There was a few penalties late as they got inside the 20 and 25-yard line. And Pioneer defense had some good stops down there, and they were fortunate after that big chunk play where they were down at the 2-yard line that their QB ran backwards, lost 4 yards. It set them up in a pretty good position.
Well, and then they got the penalty.
Yeah, the illegal man downfield, and actually it was the hold. They got the hold, and the illegal man downfield. Then it really just put Boswell in a good spot. And
then they get a win when Weatherford misses the field goal.
Yeah.
We could be looking at 20-3 right now.
Yeah.
But the Pioneers get the football to start the third quarter. And it's all about adjustments at this point. Do they want it? Do the Pioneers want it? Can they make the adjustments? Can they crawl back into the football game down by 14?
Yeah, it's going to be tough just primarily on how well Weatherford has played offensively in this game. They've been able to pick apart the Pioneer defense really throughout this game so far, and the run game has just really been the main factor. It's those 7 to 8 yard gains that Weatherford has continued to have, where if Boswell wants a chance in this second half, they're going to have to limit it, because you're looking at the score right now. They're down by 2 scores, and Weatherford has the capability to have a 6 or 7 minute drive in one single offense possession. If you see that, you're looking at a very uphill battle at that point, with so much game clock ran off just based on alone how well they run the football. So not only is the offense going to have to really get it together and get in the end zone, put together a good drive. When you're inside the red zone, everything's got to be perfect for the rest of the way going forward. Field goals are not going to win this game. And not only that, but the defense. The defense is going to have to.
Yeah, the key really is the defense for the Boswell Pioneers and getting the Weatherford offense off the field.
Getting them off the field and giving your offense even more opportunities on the offensive side of the ball, because look, I think Pioneers had, what was it, 4 offensive possessions in the first half? There was something around there, which is very, very low. Very low, because Weatherford was able to control the game and in the run game, primarily that entire first half. And
we talked about how quickly that first half.
Yeah. We were sitting at halftime, and it was about halfway through, and it was 8:15. So we probably ended that first half in play at a little after 8, probably 8:05. So about an hour first half, which is pretty quick. And look, that just comes down to Weatherford was able to run the football well and milk off a ton of clock, and they had full control. And Boswell's just gonna, like you said, the defense is the main factor in the second half. The offense as well. They've got to get the ball in the end zone. And look, if you get late in this game and you find yourself down by 4, and at some point you're gonna have to bulk up a little bit in the red zone and kind of understand, hey, look, we can't settle with a field goal. We got to get into the end zone and try to give ourselves a chance. So it really all starts laying the foundation in the second half. It all starts right now on this offensive possession, just because of the threat that Weatherford has in the offensive game, with how well that they can dominate the run game and really milk off a ton of clock. And if we get later in this first quarter and Boswell's trailing, you already know that Weatherford's going to be trying to do just that and try to send themselves home with their second win of the year. So Weatherford taking the field.
This quarter brought to you by the zoo.net.
The Zoo.
The Zoo, best in the old time rock and roll, done like they used to do it back in the day.
So Weatherford was called for an offsides on their last kickoff. They're not called this time, as this one will be kicked out of bounds. So Boswell getting a good little break here to start the second half of play. Juju Lords in that first half played pretty well. Not a lot of mistakes for him. It was really just him and Trammell and Kyrell Robertson, Chance Lassiter really did not have much going. As you could tell, Weatherford was keying him from the start of this game. They know that he is their main horse and the main guy to go through.
And we talked about that during the pregame show, as teams now are keying on Lassiter and making the Pioneers one-dimensional. You got to see something happen in the passing game.
So Barbosa is actually going to be the quarterback now for Boswell. So he's into the game. He'll hand it off to Lassiter, who gets a good gain out to the 35-yard line. And hey, that's a good start. Gain of 5 for Lassiter.
Good job that time by Lassiter. I thought in that first half that he ran a little bit timid, kind of looking for a hole to open up. Not the explosion that we saw in the first half of the season.
So Jaden Barbosa will remain at QB. He'll hand it off to Lassiter, who gets a few yards.
All right, so that puts him in 3rd and short. 2 yards from a first down. They just got to keep banging, keep being methodical here.
Yeah, so it will bring up a 3rd and short with about 11:24 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Barbosa remains the quarterback for Juju. Barbosa direct snap. He's going to carry it towards the right side. Tries a reverse field, and he's going to be short of the first down by.
He's not too far.
Yeah, he's not too far. He's about a yard. Yeah, about a yard short. And Boswell down by 2 scores, and the threat that Weatherford has. This is dangerous to go for it, but I mean, the way that your defense has played, you got to do it.
But Barbosa does bring that extra element, though, since he typically does fill in at running back.
Yeah, backup running back for the Pioneers.
So Barbosa, 4th and 1, high snap, looks under pressure, throws. This one is caught. It's a first down. A great grab there. That's Peyton Rhodes. Peyton Rhodes, a great grab. He was met immediately when he caught that football, and it will be a first down. So Barbosa, first pass of the game for him is a completed pass, and it's a first down.
And you gotta like that he was able to keep his wits about him despite being pressured.
It's 1st and 10. Barbosa throws to the left side. It's high and incomplete. Intended for Kyrell Robertson. Kyrell was open over there by the sideline. So I wonder why the Pioneers have made the change here and gone with Barbosa.
Brings up 2nd down.
Yeah, just trying maybe to get a little change of pace.
2nd and 10. Barbosa hands it off to Lassiter. Nothing's really there. He gets about a yard. So they'll bring it with 3rd down.
Weatherford again doing a good job of getting the push up front in the trenches, and there's nowhere for Lassiter to run.
Yeah, that has been the name of the game all night for the Weatherford defense.
Looks like Colorado Robertson having a little trouble with his equipment.
So 3rd and 9. Boswell has struggled in these 3rd and longs in this game. Kyrell Robertson out in the slot. And it looks like there's going to be a timeout by the Pioneers, and we will take one as well here on Boswell Sports. So back out of the break here, 3rd and 9 coming up.
Had some visitors in the booth with us here.
We do indeed. A couple old Boswell Pioneer football players. Barbosa back to pass, looks under pressure, throws this one, and it's just intercepted. No Pioneer was around. And that is where Weatherford will take over at the 49-yard line. Barbosa just threw that ball up in the air, and
Yeah, basically was a short punt.
Yeah, basically. Short punt that was unfortunately returned pretty well. So Weatherford.
Yeah, not a good start for the Boswell Pioneers, who desperately need something good to go their way if they have hopes of climbing back into this one.
Yeah, so now you're in that scenario where you're down by 14 right now. If you allow a touchdown, big uphill battle the rest of the way. Direct snap. He runs it up the middle. As that's Turbo on the mat on the carry. That's just been their game all night. 6 and 7 yard carries.
Yeah, when you can get that, I mean, you don't even need to pass the football.
So a 2nd down and 4 for Weatherford. Pioneers have not been able to stop the run game all night. Looks, throws it to the left. This one is caught on the screen and brought out to the 40-yard line. They'll give him the 41. It will be a first down.
Second effort, got that.
A good run after the catch there from Bryant Davis, the junior receiver. A lot of juniors across the board for the Kangaroos that we'll see next year over at Bosma Hall. And you got to wonder if on that next offensive drive for Boswell, if Juju will be back in the game at quarterback or if they're going to stick with it with Barboza. I did really like how Juju played in the first half throwing the football.
Well, like I say, they're just trying anything to get a change of pace here.
And they'll hand it off to the right side to Craven. It's a gain of about 3. Second down.
2nd down and 8 at the 37.
You see the clock here. I mean, Weatherford just takes off so much when they change out their packages after each play, and I imagine this is what they're going to do the rest of the way. Just milks off so much clock, and if they get a score here, you're in a
it's a world of
territory. Turbo, fake handoff, looking, he's under pressure, escapes out of it, knocked down. Is that ball incomplete? They're going to rule it incomplete, though. I think that ball, they're saying the ball did come forward, so it will remain with the Kangaroos. Would have been a massive turnover for the Pioneers as that ball was sitting out in open space with just no Kangaroos out in front of them. But instead, it's incomplete, and it will be 3rd down and about 8 for Weatherford. So big opportunity here for Boswell. Weatherford has tended to go for it on those 4th and 5 or less. So you gotta.
Well, it's just interesting. Last year, that would have gone in the Pioneers' favor.
Yep. We got a timeout. This one will be taken by Weatherford. We'll stay here, check out some scores around the area. As I forgot to tell you this, Jim, Alito was up at the half against Azle, 56-0. So just was putting it on them. They lead right now 63-7 in the 3rd quarter. Just a beat down over in Azle. Eagle Mountain trails Mineral Wells 23-7 at the break. Denton Ryan's up 28-0 in the 3rd quarter, so that hiccup that they had in the first half where they were only up by 7 against Brewer does not go far. And take a look at some of the district scores after this possession. So 3rd down and 8. The Kangaroos sniffer out to the left. Kerbo in the gun. Pioneers showing blitz. They're going to hand it off to Kerbo, but Kerbo keeps it. The ball came out. The ball's out. I think Weatherford may have recovered, though.
That was Williams again. Brant Williams causing the fumble.
We're waiting to see who fell on that football, but it looked like it was a...
Yeah, it's a Weatherford player.
So Weatherford does recover, but it is a big loss, and it will be a 4th and long, and I imagine Weatherford's going to punt it.
Yeah, Maui Peters is there for the Pioneers, but
they won't actually.
Gives them a little bit of a spark here. They get a stop on this 4th down. That's huge.
Not sure. Yes. Weatherford's going to be going for it, I think.
Looks like they brought in Luke Gray, quarterback.
So Luke Gray is in at quarterback, unless it's like a little pooch punt. They may be trying to draw him offside. So, yeah, he's going to back up a little bit. He's just going to do a little pooch punt. Try to down him. Yeah, he's going to try to down him inside the 5. Gets this one off. Kyrell calling for the fair catch. He muffs it. The ball is out, and there is a rare mistake, and Weatherford will take over. A rare mistake from Kyrell Robertson, and a glimmer of hope from the Pioneers is now away as the floodgates may be open.
That's been the Pioneers' season all year. They get a stop. You think they're going to get the ball back, and a mistake happens, and here they are, back on defense.
So Weatherford will take over now again. Curbo, fake handoff, throws across the middle. He was wide open, incomplete. That one was intended for Jamie Gray, senior receiver. I know Boswell's going to be happy that they don't have to face him next year. He has been a force at receiver tonight for the Kangaroos. Same with their quarterback. Well, actually, Brooks Curbo will be back next year, so that is a scary sight.
Weatherford's got a large senior class on this football team.
A lot of seniors, a lot of juniors. Sprinkle in a couple sophomores for them as well. I'll hand it off here and get a gain of about 2. So the Pioneer defense is actually starting to step up a little bit and limit the big play.
I was going to say, this one thing that they look like they're doing better tonight is actually wrapping up.
Yeah.
That's something we haven't seen much of this season.
The problem is they're doing it 8 and 10 yards deep.
Weatherford has been able to open up some big holes in this game for their tailbacks. And even their quarterback, Brooks Curbo, he's been a threat in the run. Curbo hands it off to Craven. He's going nowhere. Pioneers are all over it. It's going to be a loss right back to the line of scrimmage, the original line of scrimmage. And there you go again. So it's a 4th down coming up.
And defense playing with a little bit of life right now.
Yeah, so the defense stepping up well. It's just unfortunate that muff punt is in a really good spot for Weatherford to get some points here if they go for the field goal, but I think they're going for it.
Yeah, they're going to go for it.
So 4th and 10, Weatherford going for it. They may try to draw them off sides, though. No, they're going to snap it. Curbo back to pass. Looking, scanning, throws across the middle. That ball is caught.
For a first down.
Wow. Inside the 5-yard line and just found an open man.
And really not bad coverage that time for Mondongo. Just another nicely thrown football.
Yeah, Brooks Curbo has been terrific in this game tonight, finding the tight holes to throw it to his receivers. So now 1st and goal, hands it off to Craven. And the ball's out! The ball's out. The Pioneers recover. And it will be a touchback. So the Pioneers, a gift has been given to them.
Wow.
And I can't even imagine the last time they turned the ball, they forced a turnover on defense. So they will take over now, but I think the officials are convening to see if the ball crossed the plane or not before the ball came out. They rule it a fumble. So the Pioneers will now take over, down by 14 yet again. This time with a little less time, but hey, look, you're still in this game. Great defensive possession there from the defense.
So Pioneers dodge a bullet. Their hopes are still alive.
Still alive. It has been a crazy back and forth ever since that midway point of the 2nd quarter, and it looks like Barboza is going to stay out there at QB. So Juju remains on the sidelines. Barboza will keep it on the read option, rolling out to the left. And he's undercut at about the 25-yard line.
Yeah, lowers his head and picks up 5.
So good run there from Barboza. And yeah, Jim, I think you're right. I think they put him in.
I think they're just, like I say, I think
trying to open up the run game a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, Barboza is the backup running back, and he gives them that threat with his legs. And Pioneer's just trying anything.
So trips out to the right. 2nd and 4. Barboza hands it off to Lassiter. They're keying him, though. Lassiter breaks a tackle out to the left. Lassiter almost had it on the open space, but he will get the first down as he rolls out of bounds at the 40-yard line.
And that just ignited him as he had a little talk with the official there.
Yeah.
Not sure what happened, but that lit a fire under Chance Lassiter.
Lassiter has a lot of juice. When he gets going, he is a big ball of energy, and they need him to get going here in the second half. Barboza hands it off to Lassiter. He's going to bounce it out to the right side. Man, I would have liked if he would have kept cutting it towards the sideline, try to get some more yards there. Decided to cut up field, only got a gain of 1. They give him 2. Yeah, they will
give him 2 yards, and
so we'll bring up
took the handoff, kind of stepped back a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he took off.
Took a step back, and as he was coming over to the sideline, man, if he keeps running to the sideline, we're talking about 2 or 3, maybe 4 extra more yards. But instead, cut it upfield and only got a gain of 1. So it'll be a 2nd down and 8. As they'll change the play at the line of scrimmage. Barboza has added a little bit of a danger here on the run game, and there is a rare. Are they going to call a timeout? They do. So Pioneers will call a timeout, as that's their 2nd timeout that they've taken already in the second half. And man. Never want to burn those that early, especially trailing by 14, but every down is crucial for Boswell.
Yeah, if they're able to get back into it, that could be a big factor in the fourth quarter.
And Weatherford, too. Weatherford only has 2 timeouts, so both teams have taken 3 timeouts in the third quarter of play. You typically don't see that in a tight game like this. So obviously a lot of issues on both sides, but
we may get out of here before 10:30.
Yeah. It's looking like it's going to be a quick night as the clock continues to wind for both of these offensives. 2nd and 8. Barboza hands it off to Lassiter, and he is powering his way through the line of scrimmage. A good gain.
Nice hard running that time. Gets close to midfield here. Needs about 3 to pick up the first down. It's got to get to the 50.
So we'll bring up a 3rd down and 3. Another 3rd down for the offense. They played pretty well on 3rd down here in the second half. Showing pressure. Barboza hands it off to Lassiter. Tries to get his way through. He's going to get maybe a yard. So it's going to bring up now a 4th and 2 at about midfield. And I imagine Boswell's going to continue to go for it on 4th down at this spot of the field. And they will. They'll keep the offense out. Barboza remains at quarterback. Juju Lords remains on the sidelines. As the Weatherford crowd gets loud here.
Yep, 4th and 2.
Pioneers did convert on the last 4th down on the previous possession. They're looking for a big conversion here. This is a massive play in this game. Barboza back to pass. Looks, throws across the middle. It's caught. It's caught by Trammell.
No,
Tyrell Robertson inside the 30-yard line as he was wide open across the middle and brought down at the 22.
I thought he actually got to the 19, but what a catch and run by Tyrell Robertson. And that's what they've needed all night.
Feed Kyrell Robertson the football. That's been the name of the game. And now the Pioneers, well in the Weatherford territory, they need 6. No field goals. Barboza looking. Throws. This ball is caught by Trammell. Puts a move on. He gets inside the 10-yard line. It's a 1st down.
That's the Red Barbecue Red Zone.
And it looked like Peyton Rhodes thought the ball was going to him. And I think Trammell said, hey, yeah, I got it. And Rhodes backed off a little bit.
Yeah, called him off
like confused the Weatherford secondary.
Called him off like a shortstop.
Yeah. So 1st and goal now for Boswell, and all of a sudden, Barboza checks in the game at quarterback, and a sign of life for the offense. First and goal. Barboza looks, and this is going to be a false start. And that was a fade route that was caught by Trammell. So a rare false start.
And it looked like they were going to go back at Trammell again.
Yeah, it looked like there was a little bit of a mismatch in the corner of the end zone. They're going to throw a little fade ball. Ball looked pretty good, too, but...
Yeah, Trammell only 5'11", but
he's got to be taller than 5'11". He's got some height to him. He's got to be like 6 foot, I think, 6'1". Barboza back to pass, looks, throws across the middle. Oh, he had an open man. It falls incomplete.
And that was Kyrell Robertson.
Kyrell Robertson was wide open in the middle of the end zone. It was just behind him, though, and it will bring up
second down and goal.
a second down.
Well, it looks like there's going to be a stoppage in play for a minute here.
Yeah, there will be. So, O-lineman will, it's like a little bit of a cramp. So I'll re-sub out. It'll bring up a second down and goal.
Yeah, Hudson Moore comes back in.
Second and goal, second goal from the 12. Barboza remains the quarterback. Fake handoff. Barboza in trouble. It's a little sun. The ball's out. The ball is out, and I think Weatherford recovered. And they did. It is another turnover for the Pioneers inside of the 25-yard line, and that has been the name of their season. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen a team, Jim, turn the ball over that much inside the 25-yard line.
Yeah.
I mean, it has been consistent this year where I think at this point they probably have more turnovers and touchdowns when inside the red zone. So now Weatherford will take over with a minute 06 remaining, and they'll hand it off up the middle as he gets out to the 20-yard line. Gain of 4. So it looked like Boswell was about to flip this game a little bit.
And those are killers. Those are killers when you get a little momentum. You're on your way. It looks like you could go in to score, and you get a turnover, and that just sucks the life out of you.
Yeah, was not what they wanted. Second and 6 now. As they'll hand it off up the middle again. The Pioneers are keying well on these tailbacks for Weatherford, so it's going to bring up a third down.
Yeah, again, they keep running at Uribe, and Uribe has really stepped it up here in the second half.
Yeah, and I think that's going to do it for the third quarter of play. Actually, there's going to be a timeout, and we will take one as well here on Boswell Sports. Coming back out of the break here at Kangaroo Stadium, where the Kangaroos have a 3rd down and 4 coming up in their own territory. This is a big opportunity for the Boswell defense to get the offense back on the field. Down by 2 scores, and they're going to need as much time as they can. And actually, the clock did restart off of that timeout, so that will do it for the third quarter of play here at Weatherford Kangaroo Stadium, where it is only 8:59 p.m. and we're starting the fourth quarter of football, which is a rarity.
Yeah, we may get out of here before.
I think it's going to be even before 10:30, Jim.
Yeah.
We may be out of here by 10. As this fourth quarter is brought to you by Sandy's Action Photography. She's taking some great pictures down there on the field, Jim.
Yep, she'll have those. Hopefully she'll have those out on our Facebook page sometime this weekend. We've I've got a trip to Oklahoma coming up, so that could slow things down a little bit, but she does a great job.
So big fourth quarter of play here, and this may be the biggest possession of the game for the defense, and they really need to stop here. Boswell needs as much time as they can to try and get 2 touchdowns before the end of regulation, and they also need 2 stops to go with it. 3rd down and 4. And they'll hand it off up the middle. He's close to the stick. The last second effort, I think, got him there. It's going to be close. I mean, it is close, Jim.
Yeah, he needs to get past 26.
So they give him the first down, and the Pioneers had him. They had him right there. It's just that last second effort where the strength of those guys on Weatherford continues to show, and it will be a first down. And again, that's just more clock continuing to wind off here. Throws it out to the left side. This is going to be a hold against Weatherford. Yeah, so this will be a 10-yard loss for the Kangaroos. As we await the official call.
Something going on with the official on the far side, too.
Yeah, so it looks like one of the officials over on the sideline may have gotten banged up a little bit. Yeah, I think he's laughing about it. Probably played some football back in his day.
Yeah.
Felt a few of those. It's good that he is all right. So we stay here.
Hello, Amy Schneider.
Oh, she got...
We're still awaiting the call. I believe it was a hold against Weatherford, but I think they're just worried about the health of this official over on this far side.
It looks like he's okay.
Yeah, so they're conversing now about the call. Here is that call.
Delay of game.
Wow.
Signals on the defense.
So it's not a hold against the Pioneers. It was one of the guys on the defensive line for the Pioneers was likely clapping and trying to mess up the snap for Weatherford, and that's automatic every time. So it will be now a 1st down and 5 for the Kangaroos. An unforced error for Boswell. Precious seconds continuing to wind off this clock here.
Yeah, Weatherford will just take their time. They've got a comfortable lead up by 14.
So 1st and 5. Hands it off up the middle. He's going to get a gain of about 2, so it will bring up a 2nd and 3.
Boswell's still playing hard.
Yeah, the defensive front has really kind of tightened up a little bit here in the second half.
Looks like Aribe is back in the game, so that's good to see him back in the lineup.
Hebrew in the gun. Sniffer to the left. Hebrew looks, throws it to the right side. It's tipped and caught. And that just cannot happen, as it's going to be a 1st down for Weatherford. That ball was tipped up, and no Pioneer defender was there to pick it off or at least bat it away, as it was caught off of the tip by Jamie Gray, and it's a 1st down again. So Weatherford will have a new set of downs.
That was Wyatt Robinson with the tip for Boswell.
So a new set of downs here, and we're going to be under 10 minutes remaining here on the game clock, and Pioneer defense really needs to stop here.
Stop or a turnover.
High snap, Kebro looks, play action. Throws it on the right side, and my word, that ball was way out of reach for Brennan Bale. But man, if that ball was connected, we're talking about a touchdown. There was nobody in front of him. I'll bring up a 2nd down and 10, and the clock stops.
Still enough time.
There's still enough time. But another 1st down here for Weatherford could spell trouble in terms of clock management. The Pioneers going forward, especially being down by 2 touchdowns. So 9:51 to play. Kebro in the gun. Hands it off to the right side. Pioneers are all right there. It's going to be a gain of about, they're going to give a 4. So they'll bring up a 3rd down and 6. This is a big one. Big 3rd down for the defense. You don't stop them. You're looking at under 9 minutes now with Weatherford with the ball and a new set of downs. Kebro in the gun. And he'll hand it off on the counter. Hand off, and the Pioneers are great at tackle. The ball's out. The ball's out. Pioneers may have recovered. I think the Pioneers fell on that ball.
Pioneers do get
They did. The Pioneers recovered the football, and all of a sudden, Boswell will have the ball down by 2 scores in Weatherford territory. And this game is not over yet, folks.
I want to say that was Brant Williams who came up with it. And congratulations on the sideline and get the turnover chain.
Yeah, it was tough to see who made that tackle, but whoever made that tackle was able to really jar that ball loose. As now the Pioneers have a golden opportunity again to get into the end zone. We remind you, they've been inside the red zone 3 times tonight. One of them resulted in a field goal, 2 of them in turnovers. That last one came on the last possession. Barboza looks, fake, pumps, scanning down the field. He's going to keep it and run it. And he's hit out of bounds.
Flag on the play.
There is a flag on the play. This may be a hold, though, against the Pioneers, as we await the call. And they're conversing.
No foul.
Yes, no foul. So interesting. I wonder if that flag was actually thrown for a potential illegal man downfield, and then they just picked it up since he didn't throw the football. But anywho, it'll be 2nd down now coming up.
Pioneers catch a break.
Barboza in the gun. Hands it off to Lassiter, and this one will be a hold this time as he breaks a few tackles, and it's very unfortunate because Lassiter just made something out of nothing and got the 1st down, but it's not going to last. This will be a hold this time, though, against the Pioneer offense, a rare one.
Hate to see that after a run like that.
It looks like I see hands to the face.
So it may be hands to the face. If it's hands to the face, that will stay a 1st down.
Lassiter ran out of his shoe.
So it is against Weatherford. It is a hands to the face against Weatherford. It is a 1st down for Boswell. And they are now inside the Reds barbecue red zone yet again.
I'm happy for Lassiter. That was a heck
great
of a
run.
So much of a run that he lost his shoe.
Yeah. That just shows you that the energy and the strength that Lassiter has. And to think he's only a sophomore shows you the future. Him at tailback. So 1st down. Barboza looks, throws it to the right side. This one is caught. We'll get a few yards there inside the 10-yard line.
Rhodes.
That was Trammell right there. So Trammell, Jackson Trammell, the other sophomore receiver. And it will bring up a 2nd down.
Down here at the bottom of the screen, got Tyrell Robertson one-on-one.
Barboza hands it off to Lassiter. Lassiter gets right back to the line of scrimmage, no gain. So we'll bring up a 3rd down and 7. The Pioneers do have a 1st down stick ahead of them. So if they get it to that 2-yard line, it would be a new set of downs technically, but you're in a spot of the field here where it's just basically 4-down territory. You want to get into the end zone.
Chris Hayes is checking in.
Watch for Cairo Robertson on the slam.
So the Pioneers have turned the ball over twice here tonight and have only gotten the field goal the other time. Barboza hands it off to Lassiter to the right side. Nobody's there. He's going to lose a big gain, and it's going to bring up a 4th down and long. Unfortunate for the Pioneer offense. And
man, I tell you what, if Barboza hangs on to that football, there was nobody back here on the left side of the
you got to be thinking that may have been a read option that was called, and if it was, he did not make the right read.
Chris Hayes is checking in, guys.
What's that?
Chris Hayes is checking in.
Hello, Chris Hayes. Alton playing last night.
So 4th down for Barboza. Looks, scrambling, rolling out to his left, trying to find a man. Throws it in the end zone. It's low and incomplete. And Weatherford will take over on downs.
Barboza got hit. He's looking for a flag.
Yeah, he's looking for a roughing the passer, but I think that was a legal hit. He hit him right when that ball came out, and that is now, technically it does not go down as a turnover, but it may as well. 3 turnovers inside the red zone tonight for the Pioneers out of 4 attempts. Not good. 4 trips inside the red zone and only 3 points. And now it's really an uphill battle, Jim. 6:56 to play. Down by 14 and only 1 timeout. He basically would need a quick stop here and a quick drive and potentially an onside. It's a pretty big uphill battle the rest of the way.
Yeah, huge series here for the Pioneers.
Hebrew, high snap. He's going to keep it on the read option. He'll get a gain of about 3 up to the 18-yard line.
Like it's a little cold out there tonight.
Yeah, a little cold seeing some blankets after last week. I think I saw some people in sandals last week at the game. Never know what could happen this time of year, Jim, with the Texas weather. Be 88 one day, and next week you're looking at 32 and potential snow in the forecast. 2nd and 6. Hebrew, high snap. Hands it off again. The Pioneers are keying all on him, though. It's going to be a loss of 2.
Speaking of snow, I don't know if you guys saw it, but on Halloween, there was about 3 inches of snow in Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Wow. I wish that came down here. That'd be nice. So we'll bring up a 3rd down. This is a massive 3rd down for this defense. I'm just looking at a numbers game here. They basically need this stop, I think, to even give themselves a chance. It's 3rd and 8. Hebrew in the gun. Rolling out to his right side. Looking down the field, scanning, throws it on the run. It's batted down by Maui Peters alone. What a great defensive effort by him. And it will bring up a 4th down, and Weatherford will have to punt it away. And the Pioneers are still in this game, Jim.
Pioneers have punted once in this football game, and unfortunately, it was a muffed return by Cairo Robertson.
Yeah, this defense, Jim, has played terrific, I feel like, in the second half.
Well, they've really stepped up in the second half.
Has limited the big run, and it's really on the offense now. We talked about it. We said the defense needs to step up and play big. They've done their part. Now it's up to the offense to get some points, to get in the end zone. So this one is punted away. And a great Weatherford bounce as it's just going to continue to roll. What a punt. As it'll be down at the 24-yard line. An incredible punt for Weatherford. as that is where the Pioneers will take over with only one timeout, down by 14 and 5:24 left. It's going to have to be quick.
Oh, there's a flag on the play, though.
There is a flag down.
I'll start.
Attention, students. We are approaching the 5 minutes remaining.
Still awaiting the call.
We haven't already done so. This helps to ensure a smooth.
So that was effectively an 80-yard.
So it is a false start. So this play actually will not count. Yeah, so they'll have to repunt this. I'm surprised they didn't blow the play actually dead. They'll have to put some time back on the clock as well. Anybody remember how much time they had on the clock?
5:20. Oh, no.
Originally before that play? Should be. I mean, that may have been it whenever he punted it away. I'm not too sure. So Weatherford will now punt this out of their own end zone. He gets this one off, and it's another beauty. Takes a good Pioneer bounce and then a good Weatherford bounce out to the 43, I believe. Give him the 43. So the Pioneers will actually take over in a better spot than what would have been at their own 24, but still an uphill battle.
Yep.
Down by 14, 5:11 left. The tail of the tape is, Jim, 4 trips inside the red zone, only 3 points.
57 yards. Pioneers need to break that quarter streak that's going on since their last touchdown.
Desperately need a touchdown here, and depending on how much time's left, probably some magic on special teams with an onside. Barboza rolling out to the left side, looking downfield, throws it. This one's low and incomplete. That one was intended for Porter Stevenson.
First time we called his name.
Yeah, I've noticed so far since Barboza has been in, a lot of his passes have been very low. Gonna need him to step it up here because there is not enough time left to run the football. Gotta throw it. 2nd and 10. Barboza hands it off to Lassiter, though. Caught him by mistake. And they shoestring tackle.
Good tackling.
I mean, he held on by an ankle. If he rips away from that, we're talking about a first down and potentially more. Pioneers got to go quick. They'll bring up a 3rd down and 5. As Weatherford getting loud over here on their home side. It's 4 down territory the rest of the way for the Pioneers. 4:35 remaining. Barboza in the gun. Back to pass. It's going to be a false start. Another rare mistake by the offensive line of Boswell. Jim, the O-line this year has been very disciplined, but in this one, a lot of penalties. So instead of 3rd and 5, it'll bring up 3rd and 10 with 4:31 to go. Barboza back to pass. Looks, throws, incomplete. And he had a man running underneath. That was Cairo Robertson wide open running underneath. Would have set you up for a 4th and probably 5. Instead, it's going to be 4th and 10, and this is the game.
Yep, this will make it or break it right here.
So the Pioneers need a first down that gives themselves a chance. Down by 14. 4th and 10. Barboza, the gun, back to pass. Under pressure, throws the screen to Lassiter, and it's incomplete. Weatherford was all over it on the screen. And that is where the Kangaroos will take over with 4:20 remaining, and barring any turnovers on these next few runs from the Kangaroos, it looks like it's going to be church, and the Pioneers will move to 0-9 for the first time since 2004. Just an unfortunate night for the Pioneer offense where
Yeah, coming into this game, we thought it was very winnable for the Boswell Pioneers, but everything's gone Weatherford's way.
So hand it off again to the right side, and you got to tip your cap to the defense so far in the second half. I mean, they've played really well against this run.
Yeah, Rebay in there for the Pioneers that time.
And now you're just telling your defense, try and strip the ball, make something happen. It is completely an uphill battle now.
Yeah, we may not see another pass by Weatherford.
Herbo hands it off on the end around. And he puts a move on and will be brought down.
But there's a flag on the play.
And there is a flag, so this will likely be a hold.
Good job by Brant Williams again. Good pursuit that time and actually slowed the runner down a little bit.
As we await the call, it is a hold. So this will knock him back 10. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 15 with 3:35 to play. And Jim, I mean, they're not really facing an uphill battle. They're really just facing up a building. At this point, they kind of need a stop on this set of downs.
You need Superman.
If they want a chance, or at least a forced turnover.
Superman.
Scoop and score would be great. 2nd and 15. Hands it off up the middle. They bring up a... What a run. He's just continuing to push the pile out to the 40. And I think Boswell's going to take their final timeout. They're not going to take it. So the clock will continue to run. So they'll bring up a 3rd down.
Yeah, Weatherford just taking their time.
They're taking their time, milking clock off. I think Coach Weaver's just holding on to this timeout to see if they don't get this first down here on 3rd down. I think with the way Weatherford has gone, especially at this side of the field, it's 4-down territory the rest of the way. So here's a handoff up the middle. Pioneers all over them. And now Coach Weaver will call a timeout with 2:17 to play. So it'll bring up a 4th and 7. And Jim, I mean, Pioneers are going to need a miracle at this point. We're talking about a extremely quick score and onside and another quick score.
Boswell Pioneers with 1 game left in the season. Back home, it'll be senior night next week at the Bos as they face off against another 0-for team in the Mansfield Lake Ridge Eagles.
We should actually take a look over at their score right now. See if that will be an 0-4 game.
Could be a battle for the somebody's got to go.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, so that's what it's looking like. Mansfield Legacy is up on Lake Ridge 28-7. North Crowley's only up 27 on Mansfield in the 3rd quarter, so that's a little interesting of a score over there. So 4th and 7. Weatherford's going to go for this and just try and end this one, I think.
Yeah, if they get a first down here, it's church.
So 2:17 left. Send a man in motion. They'll kick back around, and it's going to be a false start.
So what does that do for us?
Clock should go back to 2:17.
False start, offense, 15. 5-yard penalty. Players get back.
Should be 2:17 on the clock.
So now what do you do?
So now Weatherford's going to punt.
Punt it away.
And they're not going to add 2 seconds, which is not correct.
4th and 12 after the mark-off.
All right. So Kyrell Robertson is deep.
No, that's not Kyrell. That's number 9.
So that's Christian Laster, actually. So Christian Laster is actually returning punts tonight. And this one is just punted out of bounds. So Weatherford is just avoiding any chance of a kick return and telling Boswell, you have to score against us on offense. So Pioneers, no timeouts, 2:09 remaining, and trailing by 14.
Yeah, down 2 scores just to send it into overtime.
Yeah.
Unless they could get a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, so I mean, it's an extremely uphill battle. They're not out of it technically, but they need a lot of magic to happen in these next few minutes of play. But their struggle all night has been in the red zone, and it's been their struggle all season. So Barboza in the gun. He'll hand it off actually to Lassiter. He's trying to make some moves on Lassiter, bounces it out to the right side. Lassiter's got blockers, kicks it out to the right. He needs to get out of bounds, get out of bounds! Lassiter's hands on feet, smart move! Lassiter! Breaks out of it at the 10! 5 touchdown run! That's step number 1.
All right.
That's step number 1.
That's some determination right there.
What a run from Chance Lassiter! I mean, when you see runs like that, Jim, does it just make you excited for the next 2 years with him? I mean, my word.
Well, more importantly, the end zone drought is over.
It's over. The end zone drought's over.
How many quarters is that?
I believe that, what was that, 9 quarters straight? Yeah. 9 quarters straight without a touchdown, and that one is now dead. So we wait the PAT. It's a low snap. Did they get it? Although it's blocked. It was a bad snap. They couldn't get it down. So now the Pioneers will actually need a 2-point conversion if they get the ball back.
Just to tie it.
But this is a 3-step process. So first step number 1 was get a touchdown. Second step is you got to recover an onside. Third step, you got to get in the end zone again. And now there's a 4th step. You got to get a 2-point conversion. So this game now lies on, can the Pioneers recover an onside kick?
And that hurts. Pioneers with no timeouts.
Yep, no timeouts. And that one definitely caught Weatherford by surprise. They come out on the first play of the drive and they run the football down by 14 with 2:09 left and no timeouts. Well, and Chance Lassiter, man, I mean, I just...
And Lassiter's starting to look a little bit like he did prior to the injury.
Yeah, you were right. I mean, in the first half, he looked a little timid, but ever since about that 8-yard gain in the third quarter, he started to really pick it up a little bit and kind of got his mojo back. So here we go. Game on the line. As they will kick an onside kick. I think this onside's going to be coming where they want the... I think they're going to put it on the... Kick it towards the right, maybe? Yeah, they're going to kick it towards the right. Here we go. This is the ball game right here. And I believe it went out of bounds.
Yep.
So the Pioneer hopes, barring a strip on a run, but I think Weatherford's just going to kneel it out the rest of the way. If they were smart. That's going to do it, I think. A tough loss for Boswell, considering they had the opportunities, how the defense played in the second half. They're really going to be looking back at those possessions that they had inside the red zone. Just very unfortunate for the Pioneers. So Weatherford will actually keep it on the ground with Kebro. Or Kerbo, excuse me.
And Boswell cannot stop the clock.
Yeah, they cannot stop the clock, and it's just going to continue to wind here. And I imagine Weatherford may just start kneeling it here. Take it down to about 1 on the play clock, and this one's going to be church.
Yeah, this will go. They take it all the way down. It'll be about 101, somewhere around there.
Yeah, so that's when they'll snap it, and I wouldn't imagine they're going to run the football here, Jim. Would be a mistake. Yeah, they are just going to take a knee. So they'll kneel one more time, and that is where we will leave it in terms of the scoring, as Weatherford is going to.
So actually, if they, no, never mind.
Yeah, no,
It's yeah.
that's pretty much it. They'll take this one down.
Yeah, they'll take
About
it.
20 seconds.
They can snap it right now, honestly.
Yeah, on fourth down, they'll just run it out.
And that'll do it. So Weatherford hangs on in a wild battle where we only played 2.5 hours, and they win 17-9 over the Pioneers. And Jim, man.
Yep, definitely a heartbreaker. The Pioneers still looking for their first W next week against Mansfield Lake Ridge, a team that they beat handily last year. And hopefully they can get a W to end the season. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the post-game show. Stay with us here on Boswell Sports.
If you're a fan of classic rock and tired of hearing the same old songs over and over, you need to tune in to thezoo.net. Thousands of songs in the library. Radio like it used to be. Radio as it should be. It's on the internet 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, and it's free. The best classic rock of all time. It's thezoo.net.
The internet's best classic rock. The Zoo.
Welcome back to Boswell Sports, where the final score is the Weatherford Kangaroos 17, the Boswell Pioneers 9. And fellas, you know, certainly a different football game than what we saw last week.
Yes.
As these two teams were fairly evenly matched, but the Boswell Pioneers, like they've done all season, 1 step forward and 5 step back.
Yeah.
And just not able to pull it out. But if there's any positives to talk about in this one, you know, we got to talk about the fight left in them in that last 6 minutes of the ball game as Chance Lassiter able to go in and get on the scoreboard for the Pioneers. And, you know, this was tough.
It's tough, Jim, and it's especially for that defense, because the defense was really the outlier, it felt like, in the first half, but they came out in the second half. They were a completely different unit.
Well, they got pushed around in that first half, and they allowed, you know, Weatherford to score the 2 touchdowns that they needed to put this game away. And then, but to see Coach Weaver say, okay, what we've been doing is not working. Let's change some stuff up.
Yeah.
Let's put Barboza in, see what he brings to the table. Let's put some wide receivers in that we haven't seen this season. See what they can do. Get a spark. And we saw a little bit of that. And who knows, what does that translate into as we head into the last game of the season? Who knows? But it's kind of as exciting.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's we talked about in the pregame that these last few games in a season where you're out of it, you kind of are just trying to start or lay an identity for the next season. And I mean, we're just seeing more and more that guys like Jaden Barboza, who's going to be back next year, guys like Chance Lassiter, who's going to be back next year, guys like Jackson Trammell, who's going to be back next year, Peyton Rhodes. There's guys that are really starting to step up a little bit, starting to get their feet
We're starting to grow.
Yes.
You think about it. You think about Eagle Mouth. They're mainly freshmen, sophomores, and juniors.
Yeah.
And they're doing okay.
Yeah.
Being a first-year school. But Boswell High School is almost in that same kind of setup where they're like a first year school where they got a lot of young guys, a lot of sophomores, a lot of guys who they're being battle tested right now. And I can only hope that going through a season like this, going into the off season, that those guys will get a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, a little bit smarter. They'll have more time under their belt. They've seen the varsity game now. They've seen that speed. Now what are we going to do with it?
And what makes it interesting, Jim, is they only graduate 27 guys. And a lot of the guys that are graduating aren't even
starters. Yeah.
So that's what it kind of gives you a good vision of what is what to come next year. And I mean, they've got the pieces to work around with. And Jaden Barboza, only being a junior, he'll be back next year, and he's a guy you can do anything with. He plays receiver, he plays running back, he plays a little quarterback. I think Juju, he's got the potential. I think he's got to get his feet under him a little bit more, use this off season to kind of work on the things that he struggled at. But, I mean, you've got a workhorse and Chance Lassiter for the next 2 years that is going to be, I mean, that run right there is the reason why he's going to be the player they're going to build around next year. That run right there.
Well, and let's talk about the Weatherford Kangaroos. These guys are still in the hunt for a playoff spot. They're now 2-7. Mansfield Legacy is also 2-7. And so depending on what Mansfield Legacy does next week and what Weatherford does, who knows? The Weatherford Kangaroos could fill that fourth spot.
Yeah, so I think is Legacy playing in their last game tonight?
I don't know.
I think Legacy's playing in their last game tonight, and I believe so. If that's the case, then it should be done. That should be it for as far as playoffs. Yeah, that's it. And Legacy's up right now, so Weatherford, So the playoff race is over.
3-3.
Yeah.
Then they're in.
Yeah, so Legacy's about to win tonight, so they'll move to 3 wins, and that'll round out the district, which is interesting because you usually don't see all 4 teams locked in before, before the last week, but. Yeah, I mean...
well, and it makes it exciting for next week's game, as it'll be the battle for last place.
Yeah, it'll be the battle for last place and the battle for who can finish with 1 win. And, I mean, it's just...
Lake Ridge they had a non-district win.
Yeah.
So they right now have a 1-7 record. Pioneers 0-9. But as far as district record goes... the Boswell Pioneers have a chance.
Yeah, they have a chance.
Not to finish dead last. Yeah. I want to remind everybody that, we had some issues last Tuesday night with Pioneer Sports Extra, but we were able to record it, and we've posted that to our YouTube channel. And I would encourage you to tune in and watch that thing. We had... Isaac Mondongo was our guest, and it was a pretty good interview.
Yeah, he's another one of those guys, Jim. I mean, he's a sophomore. He's got a bright future ahead of him. He showed us some things last week against North Crowley that
seniors walked the field.
Yeah, so I guess the Weatherford seniors are walking the field here for the final time. Pretty cool little moment.
Yeah, speaking of senior night, it will be senior night next week at the Bosses. These guys who are graduating, this is it. This is the last time they'll step in onto a high school football field, and for some of them, it'll be the last time they ever play.
Crazy.
And that's tough.
Yeah, it is tough.
Peyton, talk a little bit about that for you and what that meant for you as a player.
Yeah, I mean, it's playing for the final time is always kind of crazy, especially when you're out there, but at least you get to enjoy it with your guys,
Let's go ahead and talk about our players of the game. Peyton, We'll go ahead and start with you.
Yeah, I mean, defensively, I thought as a unit they played pretty well, but I think I'm going to go with Uribe. I thought he played pretty well at the nose position for balls tonight. Yeah, I mean he did a really good job defensively. Was able to kind of wreak some havoc in the second half as far as getting guys on the ground. And another shout out, another honorable mention, Brant Williams. He was flying around the ball a little bit, making some good tackles, and I think he jarred the ball clean on one of them, or he recovered one of them. Really, I mean the second half for that defense, that was the best half that they played defensively all season. And I don't think there's any question about it. Holding this team that really just tore you apart in the first half to 0 points. And look, they should have had 24 points in the first half of play. Let's be real here. They should have had 24 points, but they kind of bit themselves in the foot a little bit. Before the end of the half. And, defensively, Boswell played really well. And then offensive player of the game, I think you got to give it to the man again. You got to give it to Chance Lassiter. He's just that guy that he continues every single game, even when he's only getting just a few yards of carry. You're still seeing a fight. You're still seeing a battle. And even when he's down by 17 points or whatever, he's just showing that energy consistently. And he's showing why each and every week he is the guy to work through and the guy to build around for the future. So, yeah, offensive player of the game, the Chance Lassiter.
Keith, how about you?
I lost track. All the buttons and
yeah, Keith has a pretty tough job up here, trying to keep up with down and distance and time, and just making sure everything's running right, checking the chat room. Keith does an amazing job. For me, I got to agree with you. My player of the game on defense has got to go to Brant Williams. I thought he stepped up, had a pretty good game, caused the turnover. And then on the offense, at first I was going to say that it was there was going to be obviously Lassiter, but I tell you what, our backup coming in and doing the job he did, Barbosa.
Yeah.
Jaden Barbosa. I kind of got to give it to him because he gave him a little bit of a spark, gave him a little change up, and really did pretty well.
Yeah, he did. He came in and really did his job. He added a different element to where they were a little bit more worried about him running the football. And, he may not throw it as hard as Juju, but he was pretty accurate as far as his passes minus the interception. And, he put together some pretty good drives. Just unfortunately, one of them, they didn't get any points out of it, or two of them, they didn't get points out of it in the red zone. So, again, that's just really been the Achilles heel for this team this year is the red zone offense and kind of the mistakes that they have. But, again, young team, you kind of got to build from it, and they'll be back.
So Weatherford takes this one tonight. 17-9, the Pioneers will end their 24 season next week at Boswell High School, senior night, and encourage everybody to come out and be a part of that one. If you can't be there, certainly tune in and watch it on our YouTube channel. We hope you've enjoyed it tonight. Catch Pioneer Sports Extra this week. This will be the last one of the season as well, as we sit down with Coach Wes Weaver at Red's Barbecue there at 7335 Boat Club Road. Talk about this game. We'll talk about the Lake Ridge game. We'll bring in one more player for the season to interview, and we've had some really good interviews this year. I've really been impressed by the young athletes who showed up. We've had a lot of sophomores, and you think about when you bring in a sophomore and their ability to be interviewed and talk, and they've done a good job. And so check our channel for that as we bring in another player to finish that out. Well, that'll do it for this one here. Again, your final score, the Weatherford Kangaroos 17, the Boswell Pioneers 9. For Peyton Peterson and Keith Diamond, and of course, Sandy Howard, I'm Jim Howard saying good night from Kangaroo Stadium, and go Boz.
Go Boz.
Lights above the field, Friday night tension high. Sweat on the backs, Pioneer pride. War drums beat inside, helmet cracks in the air. Concrete grit out and fire. clash unseen, legacy in the beams. Dust settles under feet, victory cries loud and sweet. Heroes in the heat, a battle so bittersweet. Bones crushed, hearts ignite, bleeding for the fight. Under the stars